Leopold Blaze just subscribed, and lo verily I was born unto the world Accent 12 burn.
Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome. I'm gonna be ready to start up here in just a minute, so I hope you're ready to watch. I missed you all, and I'll see you shortly. All right. Hello, hello, hello. How you all doing? Happy new week. Happy new week, everybody. Warning. All right. I have found that today, being my first day returning to work, I have kind of lost my voice. It's all right now. But occasionally it will just completely go out until I get a good cough in and then I can talk again. So expect that to happen this stream. How you all doing? Let me see who's here. I see Haruru Kenshi here an hour before stream started. I can already hear that throat going out thing. You guys listen for it. How you doing, Haruru? How were you while I was away on my vacation? How are all of you? I want to hear. Leopold Blaze, thank you so much for subscribing at tier 3 for 9 months, Leo. You know what that is? That's a baby. And lo, verily, I was born unto the world, says Leo. Or perhaps Leo's new stream child. What shall we name it? Hello, Void. Welcome, welcome. Eck. Up here's the cough. Hold on. Eck. Good to see you, Void. Followed by Peony with the Ecky. Pio. Alien VTuber. So something was going crazy, Pia. I gotta say, from the outside looking in, when I was away on my vacation, I feel like it was when parents leave their teenagers for a couple days. They're like, you behave while I'm gone for a few days, and as soon as they're out the door, it's like, assemble the house party. Let's get all the alcohol we're not supposed to drink and like dance up on the furniture and the tables and accidentally break our parents' expensive stuff and then scatter if the police get called. That's sort of what it looked like was happening at Peony's channel. Some exciting times over there. If you guys don't follow, you should. Those from the outside looking in at some of the updates in the Discord and some of the names of the streams and things not getting saved to VODs and stuff, I was like, uh-oh. Something's going crazy over there. And you gotta follow, guys, because if you don't, you know, some of those VODs don't get published. You might miss out on things. And I know Pio feeds on FOMO. I don't know why I'm giving Pio a whole, like, promotion right now. Floofers with the Ikiki. I guess I'll accept that because I missed you, Floofers. How you doing? Also, you provide cats on my server and in the DMs sometimes, so I'll take it. Who did a shout out? I already just did enough promotion. Who actually did an official shout out? All right, follow Pio. Go click that little heart right there. Bella, welcome. Rose, how you doing? I missed you too. Leo, man, we're just celebrating Pio here, huh? I shouldn't have started. Leo, thank you so much for gifting a tier 1 sub to Peony, who's been subscribed now. Pio, 11 months. 11. It's about to be that year. All right, let's see. Froggy, Froggy, how you doing? Good to see you. Cat, get attention. Wait, is that one that we have? Hold on. Cat, get attention. Cat, get attention. Oh, it is. Is that one? I like it. Floofer says doing good but tired. I'm a bit tired too. Hey perps, how you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. Leo says, and yet you decided that you couldn't take just one more day of recovery before streaming. Missed you too. I missed you guys too much to take another day. You know what, guys? Some of my traveling got slightly delayed. I arrived back at my house this morning, about 10 minutes before my morning meeting at my job was gonna happen. I walked into the door with all my luggage about 10 minutes before my morning meeting for my job. So I didn't even get a chance to rest or unpack anything. I just had to slip my shoes off, run upstairs, get my laptop set up, and start my morning meeting. And then I worked until about 6 p.m., which was 2 hours ago. All right? So I got into my house and then worked a full workday until just about 2 hours ago, and then I got food in the meantime and started streaming here. I barely adjusted back into my house, and yet I'm streaming because I missed you guys. I hope that says something. I hope that says something about how seriously I take this and actually miss you guys. Ned, hola, ¿cómo estás? You're doing amazing, Bella. I'm glad to hear it. Do you mind if I ask what prompted the name change? Were you just feeling it? Perp says, I'm pretty good. Almost became a missing person case on Saturday, but not much been going on. That sounds extreme, Perps. Did somebody offer you candy from the back of a van or something? Pio's the teenager, of course. What else would P.O. be in this case? Leo? I guess you could say P.O. might have been the alcohol in that scenario, if you want to get, like, weird and metaphorical. P.O. was the alcohol and all the viewers were just drinking her up, and they were the teenagers. Or maybe P.O. was the party and the entertainment was the alcohol. But I'm just gonna go ahead and say that P.O. is the teenagers in that scenario. Fleur says you leave and P.O. goes wild. I know, right? P.O. says, sorry, Daddy. I'm not the girl you used to know. Ooh woo. P.O.? Why you gotta make me read that, huh? Alright. You should rest. I'm gonna rest, Bella. I'm gonna rest. You know what? For tonight, at home, I'm gonna, like, alright, so here's the thing about me, right? I like to keep things clean. I bought some new bed stuffs, alright? A bunch of new bed stuffs. New pillow covers, a whole new bed set. I got a fluffy type of blanket that I like that's kind of like this knitted blanket. I bought all those. I'm planning on putting them on tonight because I just came back from a trip. It does mean I gotta do a little bit of cleaning before I rest, though, because this is the part about me that I need to keep things clean. If I'm about to change my bed set, I like to dust, right? Because I got tall ceilings, all right? And I got corners in those ceilings. I don't want them to get cobwebs and things. And I got a ceiling fan. And I don't like the dust to come down and potentially settle on the bed that I'm going to sleep on. So I love to take the opportunity where I'm about to change everything on my bed to, like, dust up everywhere. And the upper portions where stuff can come down. And then after everything settles, I change my bed set out. And that's what I'm gonna do tonight. So I've got a little bit of work to do after this stream, but not much. And then I'm gonna have a nice, like, relaxing, clean, old, fresh bed set to sleep in. It's a good feeling. I'm gonna rest well. Yeah. Who is that? Let me scroll down a little. Nerve! Welcome. It was good to see you. What have you been up to, Nerve? I missed you. I missed all of you guys. Seeing your names are making me very happy. P.O.'s like, drink me. Yeah, I don't know. Something came loose in P.O. this week. It's still happening. But you know what? I'm here for it. It's some good content. I was just watching the Valentine's Day stream earlier today. The VOD. It is saved. You guys should check it out. Hunter! How's it going? Welcome. Good to see you. How you doing today? Catching up here. Talsit, welcome. How's your rage? You feeling good on this Tuesday? I returned to work today, but it does feel like it's a little bit of a relief that after a long vacation, when I return to work, it's Tuesday and not Monday. Because it at least means the work week is one day shorter. So even though I'm like, ugh, I'm back at work, it's a shorter one. And also, I'm cooking something. I'm cooking something right now at work, guys. You know how I've said that I didn't feel like I had what I was looking for at my current job? Like, the motivation was kind of down. I didn't see a place to expand or experiment. I just wasn't inspired, you know? And there wasn't a clear, obvious path for growth. Well, I'm cooking something right now. And I'm going to give it a couple of months. It could end up resulting in something good for me. And if it doesn't, that's the time that I'm going to be probably leaving that job. Hopefully nobody from my work is watching this. I highly doubt it, but that's the point. Like, this could become something. If it doesn't, I'm dipping. I'm going to find something that inspires me. At least a little bit more. But I might be onto something. I'll keep you guys updated. Can't go specific, though. Hey! Perps! I already said hi, but for some reason I decided to say hey again. Probably because you got it in your name. Perp says, nah, I basically disappeared and my family couldn't find me because my phone was dead. Surprisingly, not the first time I've been in this type of situation. Oh, I see. So, you were fine. but you freaked your family out. I mean, that's the reason why they don't let, or that's one of the reasons why in most places they don't let somebody become a missing person until they've been gone for 24 hours. Because sometimes people get paranoid and somebody's gone for a couple hours too long and they're like, oh, let's open a police case for a missing person. No, they're gonna be gone for at least 24 hours. Most places. I don't know, I'm sure the law is different in some places. Floofer says, oh, that kind of bed stuff. I gotta get my mind out of the gutter. What? Hold on, Floofers. What were you thinking? What were you thinking that I was excitedly announcing that I got for myself and was going to put into action after stream? Floofers? Oh, I'm just caught up to nerves and yeah right now. Perp says, painfully, I had to spend $20.85 for a charger and a box at a gas station. I mean, that doesn't sound... Oh, well, $20, yeah. That's unfortunate if you have to do it. I said hit. Hood. There we go. Hood being unresponsive today. Hood gone. Sorry. Got your few minutes. I gotta display... display my human ears, I was gonna say. Tal said it was you that did demote me, daddy. God dang it. Nerve says, I missed you too, my friend. I got fleas. You got fleas? This doesn't help the cat boy thing, but I've had fleas before. It's not fun. I mean, I had fleas because I had cats and one of the cats got fleas and it spread everywhere and then they're just like in the house. Fleas are annoying to deal with. That wasn't at my current house or any time in recent years, luckily, but it's happened before. Let's see. Hunter says, doing pretty good, just downed some meatloaf. I just downed the most. I'm disappointed. I'm pissed off. I'm disappointed. I'm dissed off. I got some dinner. It took forever to get to me, and it was the most. And I pardon my Gen Z here. It was the most mid veggie burger that I have ever had in my life. That thing was somehow like overcooked and undercooked at the same time. It was like soft and cold a little bit, but like crumbly, like it was overcooked. It was mushy. They put a single tiny little slice of pickle on the top of my burger, and to add insult to injury, it was the end, like the butt of a pickle. All right, I paid extra money for sauce because they would not add sauce to the burger for free. So I paid extra money for some barbecue sauce, and there was this tiny little dot stain of barbecue sauce in the middle of the bun. Not enough for me to even brush around anywhere else. It was just like somebody gently touched to the top of the bun, to the to the top of the barbecue sauce bottle without even turning it over at all, and then put it back on there. The tiniest, thinnest, most see-through piece of cheese you would have ever seen in your life, followed by a tomato that was essentially in the same condition. You could see through it. And the buns were smashed worse than McDonald's. And the side of fries, cold, undercooked as heck, and very few of them. I could probably count. I think it was like, I don't know, just over 10 fries probably, and they weren't big fries, and quite honestly, even with that few of them, I didn't even want to finish them because it sucked. Ow, whoa, wait, whoa, ow, that just feels like a lot. Ouch, ow, ouch. Leo, thank you for the 1,000 bits burger or Borgor refund. I appreciate that. That does help with my disappointed nature at that. And it wasn't cheap either, so I'm not gonna order from that place again. I'm not gonna say where it is though, because thank you, Pio. Oh, for the tips? For the tip on the burger too? I appreciate it, yeah. I always like to get my tip refunded. Thank you, Pio. No, genuinely, that does make me feel a little bit better after my rant. Thank you for the bits, guys. I appreciate that. Yeah, I was done injustice with that burger, but you know what? It's fine. I just had like 5 days in a row of, guess what? My hoodie is gone. You guys can't do it again just yet, right? I just had 5 days of really good food where I traveled to see Froggy Thighs. So I can't complain that I had one bit of bad food today, but I will complain because it was really bad. Blech. Gross place. Nerve. Thank you for the 10 bits. I appreciate that. So proud of whoever brought back the hood, says Hunter. I will see in a minute. Judging by Nerve's little smiley heart on screen right now, I'm betting it was probably Nerve, but I'll see in a minute. And oh boy, will they be in trouble. Jose Oak. Streamer, panda, friend. Welcome, welcome. How you doing? Let's see. Telsa says, peaked. I made the mistake of reinstalling Overwatch. And yes, Widow is still a pain to deal with. Oh, God. Yeah, Overwatch will not help with your rage. Yet I have been tempted to play it before. Slightly. Not enough to actually download it. I played Overwatch 1, actually, for like 2 matches a long time ago. And in both of those matches, the only 2 matches I ever played of Overwatch, I got... I got that, what do they call it? The play of the game. I got the POG. Yeah, that one that they show you back at the end, right? That TTS is too quiet for me to hear it. I am gonna read that comment myself when I scroll down to it. But thank you, Jose, for the tier 1. Hold on, I need to scroll down. I'll scroll back up, don't worry. Jose, thank you for the tier 1 for 37 months. It is a long time. Jose says, welcome back, Eki. Oh, not you too. You've been missed so much. Feels like it's been over 10 years since I last saw you. Hope you're doing well. And thank you for the 37 months of comfy streams. Thank you, Jose. And it has been almost 10 years. I am now 42. So I am the answer to the universe, life, and whatever the last thing is. Everything? Let me scroll back up. Hold on. Am I really this far behind? God, I gotta speed up. Nerve says, I got a job interview on a Friday. The person said I'll get an induction email on Monday, and I'll start with 10 hours in a trial. Get an email on Monday saying I don't got the job. Man, I got so excited, Nerve. You can't... you got me all excited. That ended with, like, I was gonna be like, oh, a 10-hour trial of actually working usually means like you've pretty much got the job. You didn't get the job. I'm sorry to hear that. Also, thank you everybody for starting a hype train. Jeez, let me catch up a little bit. Perp says, yeah, that was not worth it. Pro tip, do not buy a charger and box. They were only sold separately at a gas station. Go to a Publix or a Walmart. Nerve says it was working hospitality restaurant, so mainly waiting. I guess it's sort of good. I couldn't stand being a waiter. Not good at waiting. Not patient. Nerve. I'm sorry you didn't get it, though. Oh, it was Floovers that put back on the hood, huh? Well, how do you feel about this? Leo says, I almost added commentary on that question and remembered that this isn't an 18+ channel. Okay. I'm curious, Leo. Yeah, who's that? Who's that? Hey, who's the funny guy? Hey, who's the funny guy, huh? Who put the hood back on? Yeah, who's funny? Is there somebody funny in chat? Any comedians in here? I like comedy. Tell me a joke. Who's funny? Yeah. I'll see. I will find you. I will find you when I scroll down. Oh, floofers with the end every sentence with nya. 1 minute. I'm glad I didn't read that before my last little tirade. Nya. Nerve says, my dang doggle got fleas and spread it everywhere. Nya. I'm sorry to hear that, Nerve. That's not good. Nid saying disappointed now. Oh no, I'm so far behind. Nya. Floofer says, cat ears and fleas. SMH not beating the allegations. SMH. Nya. I hate to say nya after that, but I have to. Staffy Cross, Nya? I don't even know what that is. Hunter says, Eki, I honestly forgot you were vegetarian. I don't trust vegetarian restaurants, Nya. Well, this wasn't a vegetarian restaurant, Nya. This was a pub food restaurant that just had a vegetarian option for the burger. That's most of the time what it is, Nya, is that there's just a veggie option, Nya, and plenty of them do it really well, but this one did not, Nya. If it was a vegetarian restaurant, they probably would have known how to do a veggie burger, right? Yeah. Paying for sauce, I know. I know, floofers. It sounded good. It wasn't. That is tragic, I agree, perps. Leo coming in with the save, yeah, I appreciate it. Just the tip from P.O., yep, just the tip. All right. So Floofers toggled the hood again. Floofers has just been dropping thousands of channel points to keep my hood up. Yeah, sorry, I gotta do a couple more nyas. All right, let me scroll a little bit. Hey, Cog, good evening. I know I'm really far behind, but hello. How you doing? Thanks everybody for the hype train, by the way. Appreciate it very much. Cog, ¿cómo estás? Nerve says, I can't play games for over 2 hours since I put a... I can't play games for over 2 hours since I put a bomb in there. What are we talking about? What are you admitting to on stream, Nerve? Did I probably missed some context by scrolling here. Jose says, we'll mostly be lurking since parents are still home and they leave tonight. Yeah, no worries, Jose, no worries. Froggy took 10 years off our boy's life. No, I was joking about the 42 thing. Also, that's not 10 years. I'm older than 32, unfortunately. Bella says, I'm back. My phone died, so I had to plug it in. Welcome back, Bella. I did ask earlier. I don't know if you heard the question. You certainly don't have to share if you don't want to. But I was just curious what inspired the name change. Yeah. Oh, Bella put the hood on last time. I see. Was a pun on having to stand as a waiter. Oh, I see. Let's see. Nya, hood guy. No. Cog. No. Not you too. Bad Cog. Flipper says the only reason I didn't was because I reached the limit. Oh, gotcha. We are hilarious, Aki. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you are. It says, tell me a joke is the most threatening thing I've heard Ricky say. Sometimes it happens, you know? Sometimes it happens. Elle! Welcome. Good to see you. How you doing, Elle? Welcome. Just having a little bit of chatting time tonight. How you been? What have you guys done, by the way, over the course of the last week? I want to hear your stories, too. I'll talk a little bit more about mine. But I want to hear from you guys. Let's see. Hunter says, I've tried them, never worked out for me. By them, I mean vegetarian food. Yeah, well, I mean, you know what? Some's good, some's bad, and it partially depends on where you are in the country. There's some places that don't know how to do it as well because it's less common in those areas. If you're somewhere like direct East Coast or direct West Coast, West Coast, depending on where you are on the West Coast, but if it's like Massachusetts or New York, some big city area that's very progressive, or your East Coast, LA, US, obviously I'm talking about right now, you'll see a lot of really good vegetarian food. Vegetarian chicken tends to be pretty good. Vegetarian burgers can be pretty good. What I like is not actually the ones that try to be meat, right? The ones like Beyond Burger, Impossible Burger, and things that they make these days. Supposedly, they're a lot better for people who like meat. But if you're a meat eater, I wouldn't suggest them, because what they tend to be is for people who really wanted to be vegetarian but they miss meat. So they're like almost meat, right? But if you eat meat and then you try the Impossible or Beyond Burger, you'll be like, okay, yeah, that's almost meat, but why would I eat this when I could just have the actual meat? If you're a vegetarian who's been vegetarian for a while and you try Beyond or Impossible, you're just like, this tastes a little bit too much like meat for my tastes. And that's where I am. I'm not fond of them, and they kind of give me heartburn. What I like is when a place puts together a really good patty that's not intended to be meat, right? There's some veggie patties that just taste like a nice bunch of like fried vegetables and things like that. Or like the black bean patty. It's very common to make a patty that's almost like a little bit of Mexican flavor palette, like black beans and corn and stuff like that. And it's frequently, you know, you can get like salsa and stuff on it to kind of match that. Those things can be delicious. I love those. The ones that try to be meat really hard tend to actually be my least favorite ones. Also, Hunter, thank you so much for gifting a tier 1 sub to L. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. And participating in the choo-choo. Is this your first? Oh, it is. We got a first here today. I appreciate that, Hunter. You have been shot, L. Welcome back to the Squiddy Cats. You are now enabled to use the emotes again. I think I've almost caught up. Floofer says there was a 5 toppings for like $3 on one burger, which included sauce. Yeah, that's how it should be. That's how it should be, Floofers. Estoy bien, E2. Bien, gracias. Muy bien, actually. Hunter says, no problem. Bella says, someone in another streamer's chat also had the name Rose. Oh, okay. Okay, fair enough. You wanted to stand out. I don't think we've got another Bella. I don't think we've got another Bella in my set of followers. So, I think you're unique here for that. I'm not completely sure, but I don't think so. Brother, you ain't old till you 70. Yeah, I'm not old. I'm just a little older than I'd like to be, you know? Because I had some, like, I'm a very ambitious person, right? Excuse me, I had to do that cough thing for my throat again. I'm a very ambitious person, and I would have liked to start working towards some of my, like, dreams. Well, actually, you know what? I'll take this. I'll phrase this a little different. I did start working toward my dreams very young. I started working toward entertainment and game development and learning how to program. I approached entertainment and game development before I even knew what programming was. But approaching the game development got me to learn it, and I taught myself programming earlier, etc. So I did start working toward my dreams at an early age. The thing that I sort of wish was that I had been more wealthy. Because working toward your dreams at an early age is great, but if you start at like a heavy negative, which I kind of did, then it takes a while to work your way out of that ditch and start making positive progress. I think you guys understand what I'm saying. If I had started in a slightly better position, I'd be a lot further than I am, but I had to get out of the poverty and all that and get myself enabled to do stuff, and now I'm doing stuff in my life. So for me, I just wish that I could have gotten to some point like this when I was a little younger. But honestly, on the other hand, if I had started with more resources, if I didn't have to work out of everything I had to work out of, I'd probably be a pretty different person. I think some important lessons and experience and stuff came out of that, and a lot of my values and stuff formed during that, so it's probably better that I did go through it. I don't think I'd change it because I don't know how I would have developed as a person. I could be a douchebag. You guys wouldn't like douchebag Ricky, would you? He might be out there in another multiverse. You don't want to meet douchebag Ricky, right? Let's see. And anybody who's curious about my age, I don't hide that here. I am 34. 34, gonna be 35 in a couple months. So, it would be nice if I had another 10 years. I could be a 25-year-old doing this stuff, but it is what it is. I'll just make up for it with my knowledge that I've gained. Lufer says, I've still got 12k channel points. Oh. Oh. Peel says, nothing much. Tell us about your vacation. Hold on a second. Hold on. I gotta ask a question. Froggy, are you here? Froggy, if you're here, check DMs. I'm gonna ask you a question. Cog says, just work and study. I think my English improved a lot since I started to watch you. Oh, you know, that is a big compliment, Cog. I appreciate that. I mean, all the kudos goes to you. All the credit goes to you for doing that studying. But to hear that your English has improved since you started watching my stream, that's a good feeling. And you started watching during Elden Ring. I will be bringing more Elden Ring back. We just got to get through Lies of P, but there's some Elden Ring challenge runs and stuff I want to do, along with some other Dark Souls type things. Void says, I've been doing a lot in the Minecraft server. I'm glad to hear it. I guess that's a good opportunity for me to interrupt what I'm saying for a second to announce to you all that this Sunday is going to be the monthly check-in on our Minecraft server. All right, so if you're a Minecraft player and you have joined the community server already, then go ahead and get some stuff prepared if you want to show off anything for this Sunday. I'll be taking a little look around the server. We might not have as much as we did last month because this month's been a little quieter because I think everyone went really hard last month. So I might not spend the entire stream on it. We might do some other games or some chatting afterward, but we'll take a look and we'll see what people have been up to. I know that Amethyst Valley has had some changes since you guys last saw it. And for those who haven't joined the server yet, if I know you at least a little bit, you've been around for a little while, I'd be happy to have you join the server too. Whitelist you and all that. Void said, oh, I read that one. I'm glad you've been doing stuff in the Minecraft server, Void, and I did check in on those channels. I wasn't always able to respond to Discord stuff while I was out of state for a week, but I was reading it. Let me see. Hunter says, well, just today found out my sister is pregnant. Congratulations to your sister. Hopefully it's good news. Families, of course, depending on situations and all that, they take news differently on that, but typically that's a congratulatory moment. So, congratulations. Hold on, I'm responding to Discord. There we go. L says, was occupied by Lunar New Year's visitations the last week. This week I can enjoy some me time, but I also got to get some progress on my thesis data collection. Busy L. Yeah, for anybody who did Lunar New Year's, any good stories? You have some good food at least. I know a lot of people were seeing family. Honestly, like 90% of the time, maybe not 90, maybe I'll say like 80, 75% of the time, when you gotta go see family and it's just like extended family in general, there's at least a decent number of people in there that you're not that excited to see, and you're just kind of doing it out of obligation. But good stories can still happen, and it can still be fun, you know, once you get through it, especially looking back. All right, let's see. Perps. Oh, Perp says congratulations, yeah. It says, this week I finished another sword for my Minecraft resource pack, had horrible nightmares, drew and colored a new coat design for Nidhogg, updated my game dev document, and have become a PNG tuber. Ooh, I saw probably half or 2/3 of that stuff occurring, Nid, through what you were sharing on the Discord, and I'm proud of you. You've been doing a lot. Is the music a little loud? I'm gonna turn it down a bit. I feel like I'm yelling over it. Let's just turn it down slightly. You guys can let me know if you want it higher. I might have just turned it down too much, but it was loud in my ears. Hunter says, oh, I'm happy, just a tad worried since she lives a hot second away from the family. Oh, okay. So it'd be a little tough if she wants some help taking care of it or something like that, but I mean, it's always a challenge, especially like a first kid. But I think there's a lot to learn from that too, and it can be like, as long as the person wants a kid, it can be like I don't know how to phrase it, because I don't want to say it's an investment, but like, I don't know, I guess it kind of is. Not like a money investment, but like the time and effort you put into raising them right will pay the dividends, not in money, but in experience and emotions and things like that later, you know? Seeing somebody else with your bloodline grow up and become a functioning person, it's kind of cool. Cog says, I always order a veggie burger so they have to clean the grill. It's true. They do have to clean the grill if you do that. They don't, you know, not everywhere will if they're not being above board, but they're supposed to. Hunter says, and also thank you guys for the congratulations to her. I live in the South, vegetarian food is forbidden down here. Yeah, so probably anything that you've tried, Hunter, is not like the best of the best. Theo says, I like fried veggies. El says, hope she has a smooth pregnancy and hope that she is surrounded by love and support. It's unfortunate that family lives far. Yeah, that can be a good thing or a bad thing, depending. She lives 9 hours away. That is a distance. Let's see. Number 42, my lord. Passion's really expensive. I do have that, and that's part of the thing that I was saying, El. I'm like, if I started with resources, would I have learned the value of $1 properly? Would I have had like the same kinds of drives, like thinking about my family and the monetary situation and the need to kind of like be able to save us if I needed to down the line? If we had resources already, I mean, that stuff we wouldn't have been in danger on any of that. Would I have been pushed to start working early on, or think about what it would take to cross class boundaries? Because a lot of people feel like crossing class boundaries, like going from lower to middle class or middle to upper, they always think like it's impossible, and it can be made really hard sometimes, but it's very doable. And I had that thought on my mind for a long time. Those things, I'm like, that might have all just gone away if I started with resources already. I might have ended up being a lazy person or an entitled person and expected things to already be there for me because I started with things already there. And if you already start with things and didn't learn what it means to work toward them and get rewarded for that work, then you might just be used to the life where things are given to you. And it can be hard to get by that. That's actually a mental hurdle that some people have to deal with. Like, it's not your fault if you're born into having resources, but then sometimes that's a mental hurdle you actually have to deal with to get yourself to find that passion. You're like, I feel passion stunted because I started with everything and I didn't learn how to like push myself at a young age, and now I feel like I want to find some kind of dream, but it's hard to, you know, bubble that up from nowhere. So it's not just, you know, I'm not trying to poop on rich people here. They have different struggles. Leo says, it might be interesting to meet alternate Ricky, if only for juxtaposition. Well, be careful what you wish for, Leo. That's all I'm saying. Elle says, there are so much more resources that would help me with my passion in a private uni, but I appreciate the government uni I'm in regardless, because it isn't so bad. It could have been, you know. It isn't as bad as it could have been. Yeah, right. I mean, that's how I started. I went to community colleges first off. They were really like kind of a grab bag and never very great, but they were the cheap ones. They were what I could get into because I was like poor enough to get a little bit of federal aid, and those were cheap enough that the federal aid covered it. So I got to get like an associate's degree at least first in a community college, before actually, like, you know, while I was working full time to try and get into that like full university later. And I was a bit late to go into university. Let's see, what year was it? Like 2014, I think, was when I finally went into the proper university, and I graduated in 3 years in 2017. So in 2014, 10 years ago now. Huh, that's crazy. So I was like 25. I was like 25 when I was when I first got into that college, or something like that. Thank you so much. What was it? Who is that? Let me scroll down for a second so I can scroll back up. I know I'm behind, guys. Just pretend there's a huge lag on the stream. It's a just chatting section right now anyway, so I'll get to it all. Techno! 27 months. You know what that means, right, Techno? I'm sorry, because you might be busy enough anyway, but 27 is a multiple of 9. That means we are having our 3rd stream baby together. Congratulations on our 3rd stream baby, Techno. Alright, let me see, where was I in chat here? Scroll. Yeah, okay, I just read that. Hunter says douchebag Eki would just need to get checked. Checked in what way, Hunter? Checked in what way? Elle says, I will bonk douchebag Ricky with a battering ram right away. That ain't my bestie. Sounds like you guys want to encounter douchebag Ricky, but that you want to like gang up on him and beat him up. There's like a strange amount of hate building in chat for douchebag Ricky for having known nothing about him. Except douchebag, I guess. Dang, Ricky, you're 20 years older than me? Wait, you're 14? You're 14, Bella? Is that right? I mean, you don't have to give me your age, but I'm just not sure if the math is right. Because I'm not actually 42. I joked about that. Let's see. Cog says, I'm not really into Elden Ring. I'm here because of you. Aw, that's nice. Also, I can't remember entirely. You did join me during Elden Ring for the first time, right? It was either during Elden Ring or it was during Undertale, because those were kind of both happening around the time that you joined. Floofer says the DLC comes out tomorrow, I heard. Yeah, I really wanted to react to the trailer together, because there is a trailer right now, not available, but let me show you guys. Hold on. Let me show you guys. Opening up Opera here. I still use Opera as my like on-stream browser. I'm not sure why. YouTube. Shadow of the Erdtree trailer. Alright, let's see. Where's the proper ones? There's the Bandai Namco Europe right here. So, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree official gameplay reveal trailer is scheduled for 9:30 a.m. my time. Alright? On 2/21. So that's in about 12 hours, 12 and a half hours from now. This trailer is going to become available. Finally, the DLC for Elden Ring that everybody's waiting for. You know, I'm going to jump on that DLC. Even if it means dropping something else that we've been doing for a little while, or not dropping, but pausing, you know. I'm going to jump on that DLC when it's available. I'm going to be on time and trending with that one. All right. I've only ever played through Elden Ring once, which I feel like is acceptable given that Elden Ring is so long. But I'm still like really looking forward to seeing another. And I wonder if this is gonna like support my multiple worlds theory that I've previously had. Because Shadow of the Erdtree sounds like it could. We're gonna have like the Shadow world, where like the Halig tree is the one that's the prominent one, and the Erdtree is rotting or like dead. And we're gonna have the Empyrean bloodline ruling the place. It could happen. It could happen. Miquella could be a god there. We'll see. Hunter says, I remember I came here via Lies of P. Yes, I remember when you arrived. It was when I was in the area by the one-winged angel, and I had just encountered Dog Boy. What's his name? Arleon, like our Dog Boy. I remember exactly, Hunter. Did you remember that specifically? I care. You told me to push a thing of fire over into the poison to get rid of it, and I was like, don't spoil me. And you were like, my bad, and you've been good ever since. I remember. Perp says, I'm currently trying to finish my tavern. Ooh. I'd be excited to see that. Hunter says, pretty happy I found you, Eki. Nice to have a community. I like this community a lot. And I like the other people that we connect to as well. You know, I'm actually really picky about who I connect to, guys. I can't promise that we're never gonna like end up streaming with somebody that I regret streaming with. You know, I've even had some regrets in more of the distant past of like collaborating with somebody. There's been times it hasn't gone well, and there's always a little bit of a risk of that because you can never know a person entirely. But I always check around for communities that I'm going to interact with. Most of the time, I'm not willing to raid somebody who I haven't checked out the community for. Most of the time, if I want to collaborate with somebody, I've watched their streams for a little while before I ever made contact with them. Or if they make contact with me, I'm like, you know what? I'd like to, you know, check out your content a little bit and see if we seem like we'd be a good match. And then I'll get back to you, because I care about you guys. I don't want to do like things to grow fast and risk the integrity of this community. I want to interact with people who I feel will benefit you guys, and invite people in here who I feel like will have a good time in here. That matters to me more. That's the priority, I think. The numbers will come. I want to make sure that we feel like we're a good, cohesive group of people who can mostly get along, you know? Not everybody's always going to get along, but as long as, you know, we're all kind of on the same page and respectful and, you know, find our people in the group. I like it. And that's been happening so far. Perp says, oh, and Ricky, what plans do you have for mods and or plugins for the MC server? Not too many yet, but I am starting to look. I'm not going to spoil them. I'm not going to spoil them, but I do want to improve people's desire to stay, right? There's sort of a long-term plan for that. So month 1 was the first month. It's pretty easy to get people to come in for that. And then we had a raid on the ancient cities underneath our feet. An ancient city raid was actually going to be a later raid in the grand plan, but it turned out we had like 3 connected ancient cities right under the spawn area. And I was like, okay, we'll just do this one now. But I got a plan for another raid that was supposed to happen this month. But then too many other things, including me being out of state, came up. So that got put off. We'll do that at the beginning of this next month. Will be our next raid. And then there's a series of other plans that I have to grow the server in cool and unusual ways to keep things interesting for people. Because, you know, there's only so much, oh, I'm just going to go in and build in vanilla Minecraft that people can do. I mean, some people can do that for a very long time, but you know, a lot of people go in, they do that really hard for a couple weeks and they build everything out that they wanted to, and they're like, okay, I'm kind of satisfied. So it's good to have a plan, and there is stuff coming, so I'm not going to spoil it, but at least have my assurance that the plan isn't to just leave that server sitting there and hoping people are happy picking away at it without me doing anything. And ultimately, it is experimental, right? If we go into month 3, month 4, month 5, and people just aren't playing with it anymore, they're just not interested. If we ever go like a month where nobody's logging in at all, you know, it might show that it's time to end the place. But I think the plans are going to help avoid that. We'll see. You know, it's all ebb and flow. I expect there'll be quieter months and there'll be more active months. Perp says, and when do we get mods or plugins in the mix? Oh, when we get mods or plugins in the mix, I'm gonna beg you to add a specific thing. So I will say one thing. Because we do have some Minecraft newbies in there who move at a slower pace, we're probably not going to start with any super complex mods. I'm looking at you, Feed the Beast. Things like that. But they are likely to come into the mix eventually. Let's see. Elle says Lunar New Year was chill. There was a lot of catching up with relatives. It's the annual dumbing down what I'm studying, listening to opinions that make me zone out, comments on how I look. But hey, I got red packets. Oh yeah, red packets. You get a lot of them, Elle? I saw some people, like a lot of money sometimes goes around, you know? I get like a little bit jealous of that. You know, it was always a little sad for me because growing up, I was in Massachusetts for a lot of my life, okay? And we're a very progressive state. We're also a state that has a lot of diversity in it in the US. So growing up, going through the school system, I was talking about this the other day because I was watching an anime that it was relevant to. But there was always cultural festivals, right? Like Japanese cultural festival. There was Latin American cultural festival, or sometimes more specifically like a Mexican cultural festival, Portuguese cultural festival, things like that. There was a lot of things like that, and I always wished I could participate in such a thing. And it's not that they wouldn't accept help or anything like that, but as a white guy in the US, I mean, I didn't really like, there's no, I'm not trying to say white guys, like white people in the US don't have culture. Like some people say that, and I don't think that's right. I think there's plenty that you could attribute, and it just sort of like blends out into the background if you live here, because it's sort of considered like the norm, I guess, quote unquote. But there's nobody going to be throwing a cultural festival for that, and there's no reason to have a cultural festival for that, right? I have no complaints that there isn't a cultural festival for that, but sometimes I got a little jealous of the fact that I'm like, man, it looks so fun to like come together in this kind of like bonding with this kind of shared experience, to put together like aesthetics and activities and get like music together and all of this stuff, like everything that went into these various cultural festivals. I'm like, man, that looks awesome. That looks awesome to be a part of. I always sort of wished I could have some of that stuff, but it is what it is. Hunter says, well, thankfully this is her third. Oh, hold on. Oh, are we talking about the kids again? I'm so all over the place with reading the chat. This is her third kid? Is that what we're saying? I mean, well, congratulations, third time, all the same. It says Ricky is filled with determination, and it fills me with determination. I gotta get back to Undertale, god dang it. Oh god, am I really this far behind? I just got to Pio's comment that says, no, poop on them, eat the rich. Oh no, am I really that far behind? Remember, treat it like there's a huge delay on stream. I will get to your message. Leo says, what if you become rich one day, Pio? Will you still say that then? What if Pio wants, you know, never mind. Never mind, Leo. I take it back. Never mind, Pio. I'm not going there. Time for a revolution? Yeah, we can go there. Pio's all for eating the rich until she's rich. Then we have to eat her. Man, it's the circle of life. Okay, I just got to Techno's subscription, so yeah, I'm very behind. All right. Nid says, you're wealthy. Peony pancreas will be a delightful treat. Okay, okay. Not sure how I feel about all this. Techno says, wow, I have no clue what that means, but another child, yay. Stream baby, yep. And yeah, it's L. Alright, and it says, maybe we could reform douchebag Ricky. Maybe. But wouldn't that mess something, like as if it's a multiverse equivalent, but its difference is that it's a douchebag. If you reform it, do you just make like a copy of me, or I don't know. Ricky's 874 years old, he told me, says Techno. I can neither confirm nor deny that. Towson says, chat $5 and I'll 1v1 D-bag Rick on Rust and put him in the ground. Douchebag Rick probably does play Rust. And he's probably pretty toxic too. The demote me daddy that was like the Rachel one was you, Nerve? Really? You surprise me sometimes. Let's see. Do you volunteer to play, Techno, for 1v1ing on Rust? I don't think he said anything about looking to 1v1 other people, Techno. Wow, that was also Nerve, huh? All right, let's see. If you guys didn't notice, I'm going a little faster now. I'm scrolling by some messages. There it says, now to see if Ricky remembers where we first met, apart from knowing we met on Pio, because I completely forgot. I mean, but that's where we met. You just mean like the first time you came over into my stream from Pio's? That's a little bit harder to like jab into my memory than where we first met, you know? It's like, what was the, you know, 10th day that we saw each other? I think that when you first came in here, Nerve, it was during Elden Ring, the stream where I was visiting Mount Gelmir for the first time, and I encountered Patches there, and I'm like, oh no, he's gonna get me. He told me there's treasure over there, better go look, and he kicked me, and he thought that I actually fell for it, but I just wanted to be thorough. I think that was the first one you came in here. But that's a little bit of a harder memory to bring back. Pio says, to sum it up, Eki was a big creeper before I even knew about him. Is that about me paying attention to when people show up, Pio? Besides, that's part of the reason we mesh so well, Pio. Elle says, yeah, that seems to be the right procedure to get a collab. Yeah, some people go a little too far. I've encountered some people who are like, yeah, if you want to collab with me, we gotta start having like VC chats for a couple weeks, right? Get to know each other, like have some talks, see if we talk well, maybe play some games together off stream ahead of time and get sort of a rhythm, see if we enjoy playing games together. And I'm like, I don't have time for all that, I'm sorry. I don't have time to try and like build a whole friendship before we ever play together to begin with. Like, I do think that you gotta do your research and you gotta like check out the person a little bit, but at the same time, it's also like partially a job thing for some people. Or not job, but professional. I think that's what I mean to say. It's partially a professional thing, right? You gotta have a little bit of a blend of the like, yeah, we'll check each other out, and then the blend of like, okay, we're gonna professionally respect the fact that we've both been streaming for a while, so we probably don't want to just be awful in the other person's chat. and kind of go from there. I don't typically have time to like be friends with somebody for weeks purely just because we brought up the idea of collaborating. I don't know, maybe that's just me. It says Ricky's community is like a nice little Boy Scout / Girl Scout outing. We're all on a little boat together, riding the river, having fun. Then that one time we raided Snuffy, we fell off of a waterfall into the vast ocean filled with krakens. We have raided far weirder people than Snuffy before, Nid. Like Pio. We've raided Pio several times before. Pio's a lewd tuber. No, but we've had some strange ones in the past. Anybody remember that time that we raided a stream? And this was one of the times where I actually took a suggestion for a raid on somebody that I'd never been to before, and it looked like we were just in like a hallucinogenic nightmare. Like the background was just swirling rainbows and the person was just like swearing like a sailor and talking about like weed, and the whole thing was just trippy. He says, I don't remember at all. Really? Because you were actually there. Oh, speaking of raids, welcome, Castrelia. Join us in following. Wait, hold on. Is that? Why do we have a shout out for Nerve? Why did we shout out Nerve? This is a Kess. This is a Kess raid. Well, what mod do I have to fire? I'm kidding. Welcome everybody. The Anthony Gamer 94. Welcome. Thank you so much for the follow, Kess. Thank you for the raid. Let me get a clip going for you actually while we wait. Everybody, make sure to click over on Kess's stream. There's the link, and let's get a Kess clip. Welcome. Were you having fun? You were doing art?
Microsoft error. What do you mean? What happened?
Oh, we got a collab clip.
Oh my god, the screen.
Yeah, so Kess, get what? Ow, Leo, ow.
Scary. Wait, let me log back in.
You know, Kess, I'm not gonna lie. This is triggering me a little bit. This is triggering me a little bit because I deal with Microsoft errors like daily at my job, okay? I don't want to see that on a clip. You know what, guys? I just rated myself, by the way. I've got like... Wait, can I show you guys this? Let me see. There's nothing doxing on here, right? No, you'll just see that I'm like... You'll see that I'm looking at little Aggie right now. Here's my current computer screen. Okay, you guys probably can't see it too well, but up here, there's a little like blinking tab. If I hover over it here, you see that little thumbnail? The thumbnail from this tab that's cached right now is Kess, right? You see Kess doing art, but if I click it, It's me. I just raided myself. That's right. I was in Kess's stream. So I did see some of your art, Kess. I was lurking. This is day 1 of me being back from being out of state. I'm regularly there, Kess. If I go to your channel right now, let me see. I think I've got 70 something thousand channel points. Oh no, 82. 82.3 thousand channel points right now, Kess. Cause I be there. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. I'm gonna close that tab. I don't need an extra Chrome tab open just to watch myself. I'm not that narcissistic. How was vacation? Vacation was nice. I'll talk about it more in a second. I want to see if I can catch up with chat here. But also, I want to say hello to Joker. I can't believe that this is your first time chatting over here. I don't know if you're still here, Joker, because I know I'm a little behind, but I can't believe it's first time chat over here because we've talked before. But I guess the time zones line up now. It's good to see you on this end of things. That's awesome. All right, let me see if I can find where I was again. Let me see. Oh, I am almost caught up. Nice. Okay. MC raids sound fun. Yeah, we're gonna do more MC raids. I think the next raid is still gonna be a little vanilla, but after that point, it's gonna be like special things that I set up. And then that'll be when it gets interesting, I think. I might even tinker a little bit with this next one before it happens. Void says, I'll be single-handedly keeping the server alive. Joking. Yeah, you and Nid. Nid'll be there. Hunter says, hopped out to say congrats to Sephi, her 1-year anniversary. We talking about festivals? Whoa, what was I saying about festival? Oh yeah, cultural festivals. It was actually on my mind because I just finished Kaguya-sama, Love is War. Anybody watched it before? It's an anime. 3 seasons long, I just finished it. It may be, I'm not ready to admit it yet, but it may be my favorite anime. After having just finished it, I gotta give it more digestion time, you know? There's always a little bit of hype when you just finish something, but it was really good. Hunter says Hispanic festivals gatherings are always fun. Oh yeah. Sweet Jesus, Ek, you're so far behind. I'm catching up. It says pretending I have a huge delay is very easy since it happens often. Good. Talsa says Molten Core was pretty fun, but I don't think we have enough time to power level the community fast enough to clear it. What's this a reference to, Talsit? Oh, MC, Molten Core, I see. Yeah. What do you guys think, by the way, of Helldivers? Helldivers 2? I've seen it's been played a lot lately. Should I check it out? Any Helldivers in here? El says, red packets are traditioning blessings from your elders, so it's more than just getting money. My parents and relatives were also not well back in the day, so Lunar New Year's is being grateful for the new beginnings. I'm glad to hear you phrase it that way, El, because I'm gonna be honest. A lot of my Asian friends that I know were just like, I got my money. I got all the money. This is what I think a lot of, like, maybe that's just in America. Maybe in America, because I think all those people were from America that I heard from. It's just like, yeah, going in there to collect my money. So I'm actually, it's nice to hear you phrase it that way, Al. That's a better way of thinking about it. El says, I'm really curious to experience different traditional festivals in Asia and outside of Asia. Fascinates me a lot. I'm always also curious because, like, you know, if you have like a Filipino festival thrown, for example, a lot of times in the schools over here, it will be by a bunch of Filipino children who were born in the United States. It's because they didn't usually like come to the public schools from out of the country. You know, their parents might have come over here or their grandparents might have come over here. So it always makes me wonder how, like, how such a festival would look to somebody who is from the Philippines, right? If you traveled over like straight from the Philippines and then went to like a high school or middle school Filipino festival, like how would it feel? Would it feel accurate? I've always wondered about that sort of thing. The same with like a Mexican festival or Puerto Rican one. Massachusetts has a very large Hispanic population, so we had a lot of like specific festivals of those kinds a lot here. All right, I've caught up to the Kess raid. Thank you once again, Kess. Let's see. I gotta see who accidentally gave the the Nerve Toxin shout out. Let me see. Welcome, Joker. Kess raid, yes. And welcome, Anthony. I hope you're having a good time here. Welcome, everybody. Any raiders who are still sticking around. It's good to see you. Oh, it was Leo. You're all good, Leo. You're all good. I'm happy to give Nerve a shout out as well. Nerve's cool. Nerve almost always streams directly in the times that I can't be there. Because of our time zones, I'm usually asleep, but Nerve does stream. And I know that we have other people in very different time zones than me here. Elle says, dang it, gotta wait for a minute. Yeah. Did we ever get like a proper shout out for Kess? I think we did, but we also got the clip one. All right, let me see. Scrolling. Oh, so I think Rose, you actually toggled the hood off, right? Nice. And there's the shout out to Kess. Okay, we did get a good one. Void check. Hashtag Minecraft server. All right, catching up. 4 Rickies. Oh yeah. Okay, the vacation. All right, we can talk about my vacation. I think I'm almost caught up enough that I can like drag it out and talk about the vacation a little bit more. I'm not gonna say exactly where I went to. If anybody figures it out in their head, I mean, I don't know if you could. Like maybe you could. But it would probably be like a matter of figuring out multiple locations. Don't go guessing about it. I'm not trying to dox anyone, all right? I'm okay saying I'm in Massachusetts. If I travel out of state to visit people, I'm not gonna say where people are, all right? Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of traveling, and we had a good, I think, 5 days where there was no travel in the days. There was supposed to be snow, but it didn't really happen, which is nice. It was so cold that we mostly stayed inside, but we did do some things. We went to a movie because we really like the movie experience. Okay, there might be nothing good on at the moment, and we just go see the movie to get that like the buttery popcorn and the sitting in the dark with the nice big booming sound and watching something on the big screen. We just like the experience, and that's basically what it was. There was nothing too good playing. We decided to go watch Madam Web. Any Madam Webbers in here? It's one of those, I think it's Sony, or one of Sony's smaller companies. I forget the name of it, but they own it. One of their Spider-Man adjacent movies, like Morbius. You know, that they're trying to make movies out of B, C, D list characters because they don't own Spider-Man proper anymore. And Madam Web is a character from Spider-Man. We kind of had like an evil guy with a Spider-Man like costume in it. You know, it was mediocre, but it was like entertaining enough to be worth the the theater experience. It was either gonna be that or like what's his name? What is it? Something Charlemagne or Charlemagne playing Wonka. All right, Timothy. Yeah, Timothy. I didn't really want to see Wonka, you know, that wasn't calling out to me, but that was in theaters as well. Kes says, Yee, was happy to see you on. It's rare to overlap our streams. Oh yeah, it is. I have noticed you've been doing later hours lately though, Kes. Are they working out for you? I'm just gonna have a little sip here. I've been talking forever without drinking, so give me a second, guys. Joker says, is this my first Ricky stream? Yeah, I think it is. Largely, again, because Cass and I don't usually overlap, I think. Time zones are crazy. I don't think, like, Cass and my time zone aren't really that different, but our day structure is. What else did we do? We also went to some interesting stores. All right, we went to the M&M store and Hershey's World. We had a chocolatey day. M&M store had like a wall of different colored M&Ms. It was fun. Hershey's store had a bunch of like giant sized versions of the chocolates. Hershey's owns more than you think it owns. You're like, okay, it's Hershey's. The normal Hershey's, Hershey's Kisses. But then in the store, you start seeing some things like Jolly Ranchers and Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and Kit Kats. And you're like, wait a minute. Was this all Milton chocolate? Milton Bradley? Milton, I don't remember his name, but the Hershey's guy. And we also went to the Disney store. Saw a bunch of Disney plushies and Disney merchandise, and I haven't been in a Disney store for a while, so it's always fun to go in there and see Star Wars and Marvel these days, because those are technically all Disney now. All right, let me catch up a little bit more here now too. I see a nya from Joker. Kes says, love Kaguya-sama. I haven't seen last season, but amazing. Last season is so good, Kes. Kaguya-sama, I gotta say, that got better every single season. And I love the way that it ended. Every season was better than the last one. Like, the show actually starts a little bit weird. It starts with characters being very obtuse and very dramatic, and it starts in a fashion you're like, how could this go for 3 seasons? It doesn't go that way for 3 seasons. It's just the first couple episodes have a very specific way that they introduce you to the type of storytelling, but after that it kind of like switches it up on you and becomes more and more like complex, I guess, in a way. More dynamic over the course of every episode and every season. I like it. Froggy says, my favorite anime. Ricky, having watched 4 animes. Not having watched 4 animes. Having finished. Alright? Those 4 being Death Note, my previous favorite, and one that is very difficult to compare to Kaguya-sama. Fruits Basket. The original one, not the newer one. Monster and Kaguya-sama as the 4 that I have actually finished all the way. But I will say, back in the day, having watched Cartoon Network and seeing English dubbed anime play over the course of years, I probably have seen all of Dragon Ball and all of Dragon Ball Z and all of Inuyasha and all of Cowboy Bebop and all of Yu Yu Hakusho. Like, there's a lot of old anime here, but there's a lot that are on the probably list. But it's hard to say because Cartoon Network liked to show things completely out of order. They just throw the most random episodes at you. sometimes several times in a row you'd see the same episode. They didn't care. And there were some episodes they just felt like they wanted to play that specific one all the time. And some that you never saw. So like I've seen a lot of anime. I've seen a lot of Gundam stuff. G Gundam was probably my favorite. I saw a lot of Sailor Moon, a lot of Pokemon stuff, a lot of like random assorted shorter anime things that were on Adult Swim and stuff like that. But I can't like properly in my mind claim to have like watched them and finished them, because I didn't get a proper like beginning to end watch through of them. And that's kind of like, so it's very close with a lot of them. And things like Dragon Ball Z, when you've almost watched all the episodes of that, that's like at least 10 times as long as something like Kaguya-sama. So I do have a lot to compare to when I say this, but I can only really in my mind claim to have finished four animes. Nerve says, there's so many damn unwanted pests in my house. Another day in Australia. Yeah, how big are the Australian fleas, by the way? Like golf ball size or what? Elle says, nah, over here we still have people that think that. Just think of it that way. Oh, I see. It's not just a US thing. I mean, that's comforting to know, I guess. I feel like the US has so much jadedness just around money. It's not just us, I guess. Let's see. Joker says, I be lurkin', playing Genshin. Enjoy your Genshin. You're lurking, but if you can hear me, have you gotten any good pulls recently? There's been some interesting MiHoYo 5 stars floating around. A lot of them in Honkai Impact, but or not Impact, excuse me, Star Rail. But all the same. Nerve says, as a half Filipino that has family in Philippines and has traveled there. Oh, it'd be drastically different. I'd be curious to know how different. Let me see. Elle says, you were the first to send the raid message, so probably a slip up. Imagine kangaroo time. Yeah, I'm very behind on chat again. That's good. Every time I almost catch up to chat, we get me on some kind of rant that makes me talk for a little while and I fall behind. Anthony says, thanks. By the way, you can call me simply Anthony. Will do. Will do. Brew time. I'm not a 4chan user, you have my word. Okay, there we go. I'm not too far behind. Not doxing my location. I know what the 4chan user's about. Nerve says, I'm in Australia. Good luck, everyone. Well, you know, that narrows it down a lot more than a lot of things in the US. I mean, Australia's big, I guess. Australia's not as small as some countries are compared to the US. I was gonna say, it's like, the US is so large, it's almost a little harder to dox here than in a lot of places. It's almost painfully large sometimes. Like, I just sat in the train for so long. Nerve says, I'm in Australia, good luck. Oh, I just read that. I watched it on Valentine's with your girlfriend. Did you like it, Nerve? Madam Webb? Me and Ricky at the movies, Elmo stares, yeah. Perp says, Eki, can you read the MC server chat? Because we got a problem. Okay, well, hopefully I wasn't too late to that. I don't normally like to be asked to read anything in Discord midstream, but I'll check it out if it's a problem. Let's see. Okay. Okay, that's not an immediate emergency. It seems like you guys can't send chat messages. Is that what it is? Right now? I can attempt to figure out how to fix that later. If it's a paper related error, I might be able to get a fix done. But yeah, thank you for letting me know about it, Perps. Elle says, I watched Wonka with friends. It was fine if you're someone who likes musicals. I'm like, I don't love musicals. It depends on how it's made. Like, Disney songs are fire sometimes. But like the most typical like Broadway style musical songs don't really appeal to me that much personally. And I also feel like Timothy Chalamet, like he's a sexy man. He's a good actor, but I don't feel like he's got whimsy. Did he feel like he had whimsy? He doesn't strike me as a Willy Wonka. And anything else I've seen him in, he's good at drama. He'd be good at angst and stuff like that. He doesn't strike me as the whimsical, magical person that is Willy Wonka. It feels like it's not quite the right fit. Feels like they did that because they're like, oh, how do we kind of like get a look that's sort of like we could picture it being one of the Willy Wonka actors we've already had, but younger and sexier. Anyway. Kes says, yeah, I keep my more chill content for the evenings. Been great so far. Yeah, it's gotta be, like, having a nice chill evening stream is nice. I enjoy that. That's what I wanted for tonight. Having come back after being gone for a while. Me and Ricky at the Hershey store was also Elmo Stare. You know, that's accurate, Froggy. I can appreciate that. Kes says, yeah, I think they do well to hook a certain type of audience with the dramatic intro, though. Wait, hold on. Dramatic intro. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's entertaining. It's just when I watched the beginning of Love is War, it was so intense and so crazy, and the characters were being so obtuse that I was like, how can this be more than like a 5-episode max series? How do we have 3 seasons of this? Like, how could this possibly carry for 3 seasons? And the answer is it couldn't. If they kept the style that they did with their first couple of episodes, it couldn't have lasted. So for anybody, I'll give the spoiler-free variation of it, I guess. That the first couple of episodes of Kaguya-sama are almost non-stop, like, dramatic music, internal monologues, announcer voice, like, talking about the deep, like, 5-dimensional chess that these two people are playing in their minds to try and outwit each other. Like, Death Note, L and Light style. I'm going to surpass you with my thinking of what you're thinking, that I'm thinking, that you're thinking. 15 moves ahead sort of shiz. And it's like, this can't possibly last for 3 seasons, right? It doesn't. They shift it up. So it's a very different style right at the beginning. It's definitely entertaining. And it can definitely be a good hook. It can also turn people off, though. So that's why I like to mention that it's different, because if you see it and you're like, this is a little too much for me, I can't imagine 3 seasons of this, it doesn't stay like that. Nid's talking about something having to do with monsters. I don't think I need to pay attention to that. Scrolling past that, Leopold says, possibly unrelated to your list, but I don't know, for some reason Leo's message just kind of like glitched out on me. I couldn't read it. Scrolling past it, I see a hydrate from Nerve. Good idea. Let me take a sip from my water. There we go. Arur says, G Gundam is probably one of the weakest series. Well, if you're really into Gundam, then yes, probably. But I'm not really a mech person, alright? I watched my Dragon Ball and stuff like that back then. So I think G Gundam is the Gundam that appeals to people who aren't into Gundams as much. If they're like, I'm not really a mech series pew pew battle international politics kind of guy. I'm more into character drama and like fighting, but like, you know, martial arts and sword fighting and stuff. That's G Gundam. If I like my Dragon Ball Z Kamehameha or Yu Yu Hakusho finger bang transferred into a Gundam series where people are gonna give you the shining finger, their love, their anger, and all of their sorrow, that's G Gundam. If you want to look back at an anime, listening to everything that I'm saying now and thinking it might be cool to see a mech series done this way and you didn't check it out and you want to be surprised by like some strangely racist stuff that didn't age well, that's G Gundam. Bell says, I'm gonna head to bed, Ricky. It's getting late. Sadly, I have school tomorrow. Good night, and I hope you have a good stream. I know I'm probably quite late to reading that, Bella, but I'm gonna say good night anyway. I hope you rest well. Thank you for being here. It's good to see you on my day back from being out of state. Nid's still talking about monsters, huh? Joker says, yeah, I got ka-chinged, so I'm guaranteed to get my Miko. Hey! Well, there you go. I got some 5 stars in Genshin. I gotta get back at some point. Ruru says, I pulled Cloud Retainer recently. I forgot they made Cloud Retainer a person. I always forget her actual name, though, like as a person. What did they name her? I saw they made her very mommy with the glasses. I'm like, this is the swan that we were talking to? Or the crane? Oh yeah, that's it. Nerve says a big part of it is party and drinking. Drinking is legal for pretty much any age, so that's one difference. It was alright, I guess the whole Uncle Ben thing was like cool, I guess, but mostly it being gold class and having good food and good company and reclining chairs that made the experience tops. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? It's like it almost doesn't matter what movie's in. I mean, if it's a great movie, sure. Like when Froggy came to Boston and Massachusetts and we hung out together there, we saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and me being a Marvel nerd and Guardians of the Galaxy 1 being one of my favorites, 3 was amazing, and that was just a great theater experience mixed with a great movie, so that's awesome. But a lot of times it's just like, you just want the nice comfy chairs. You want a nice clean theater if you can find one. You want a nice buttered popcorn. Maybe even the soda. I'm not even a soda drinker, but sometimes you just want to like chase that popcorn with a soda at a theater. Get your ears a little too blasted off by some of the previews. Have that moment where all the lights dim before the actual movie starts. It's the experience. It's nice. I feel like I'm one of those things that plays before the before the movie, right? That tries to sell you the ideas of theaters even though you're already there, and I don't really understand why. They're like, this is important to us, to all of us, because on the big screen we feel like the heroes are the greater part of ourselves. Somehow heartbreak feels good in a place like this. You know, I feel like I'm one of those ads right now. Yuki! Welcome! How you doing? Did you do anything fun for your last week, Yuki? I want to hear what you guys did too. I've been talking about myself. Do anything fun? Leo says, I remember G Gundam from my childhood. Yeah, I got a lot of anime in me from back then. I just... You know, I'm really harsh on myself before I claim things. Like, I never say I'm a weeb, even though I totally count as a weeb, because I feel like there's actually like that's claiming a culture almost, right? I'm not saying cultural appropriation. I'm saying like there's like merit. There's merit to being a weeb. I think it's something to be proud of. I think that people can bond over that. And me being strict on myself about what I can count as having like finished anime or read manga and stuff like that, I usually only consider like the in order start to finish viewing a story of something completely all the way through as having actually completed it. So even though I probably have a lot more anime and anime related things in my history than a lot of people who are younger and call themselves weebs, I'm just like, I don't feel the right to claim that title, especially because a lot of my stuff would be out of date at this point. All the same, it's really just restrictions that I put on myself. I mean, I'm a VTuber, for heaven's sake. It's hard to say I'm not a weeb, I guess. Can't make that joke, so I won't. Okay, good call, Nid. Good call. Azrael dude, hello. How's it going? It's been a tired day for me. How was the vacations? Vacations have been good. I've been going over the details of Azrael dude. We saw a movie. We went to the M&M store, Hershey's World, the Disney store. We stayed inside for a lot because it was cold and binged a bunch of shows that we hadn't had the time to watch yet. Finished Kaguya-sama Love is War. Had a bunch of tasty food. Here's something. Pio, are you here? Pio always likes to have the food information, right? The food news. I got to try my first ever, and this is something I'd wanted to try for a really long time. I got to try my first ever Korean corn dog. And you guys know I'm a vegetarian, but like Korean corn dogs a lot of times can also come as like the cheese version. So the inside is like mozzarella cheese, like a nice big mozzarella stick, but with a corn dog shell. But the really cool thing, and the thing that has always appealed to me about this idea, is the Korean corn dogs that have like chunky potatoes, right? I wonder, can I share a picture? Do I have a picture readily available? Let me see. I may or may not. But like the Korean corn dogs that have a bunch of like potatoes all over them. Like you got the corn dog, but then you got a bunch of little mini potatoes cut up, and then you put like sauces and stuff on there. That's always looked so appealing to me, and it's got cheese inside, and I'm a mozzarella stick fan anyway. Well, here's one. That's not mine though. Let me scroll a little further. Froggy, do you have a picture? Like, did we take a picture of my corn dog? Do you happen to have a picture of my corn dog on your phone, Froggy, that you could send me real quick? Sounds like I'm asking for something else, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I tried one of those. It was really good. You only took a picture of yours? I see. Bella says, actually, I changed my mind. I'm just going to be lurking. Well, make sure you get that rest if you need to. Do your best. It's still early in the week. Back from finishing your workout, what did you miss? You didn't miss anything. Talking about the vacation times. Perp says, Eki, have you watched Princess Bride? I have. That's an older one. As you wish. The six-fingered man. Anybody want a peanut? Inconceivable. Etc., etc. I don't believe they exist. Elsa's just feel a little fancy to watch a movie, you know? Yeah, I just like, it's just nice. I don't know. Sometimes it's nostalgic, sometimes it's fancy feeling. Sometimes you just want like an excuse to have theater popcorn. It's all good. I need very little excuse. Nid says, yeah, Got G3 was really good, surprisingly, considering their track record right now. Hold on, let me catch up. Let me Got G3, considering their track record. I'm trying to resummon the context for that. Feel free to help me out. GOTG. Yuki says, I've done absolutely nothing. I simply exist. That can be nice. That can be nice. I wish I had more existing time. Gotch. That doesn't help. Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy. There we go. Thank you. I don't do acronyms. I've said this many times in chat before. Like when we're on stream, I've said, like, you can give me an acronym for something that I do all the time, and I will still have no clue what you're talking about. Also, Nightbot, are you okay? I just feel like Nightbot is sending a lot of messages. Nightbot's like, go to the throne, go to the Discord, go to the Discord, go to the... I threw Eki up there a minute ago too. You okay, Nightbot? Are you happening more often than you're supposed to? I'll have to check that out. Alright, hold on. Although I did get Helldivers 2 and love it. Ooh, were you here when I was asking about Helldivers, or is this just a happy coincidence? I was like, any Helldivers tours, two Helldivers in chat? I want to know if I should check it out or not. I don't know if it's worthwhile at all for single player, or if you really just got to do it if you want to do multiplayer. I'm not sure. Azrael says, good. Glad you have a great vacation. Well deserved. How about you, Azrael? What have you been up to for the past week? Froggy says, I gave Ricky a half of a Kit Kat and he never ate it. Yeah, well, Froggy gave me the Kit Kat saying she was eating her Kit Kat and she was like, I lost my appetite. And she handed me the Kit Kat and I put it over on the desk next to me because that's usually how I interpret that sign. And then, like, the next day, I was like, you still have half a Kit Kat over here. And she was like, oh, you didn't eat it? I'm like, I didn't know it was for me. She's like, you should eat it. I'm like, it's been open on my desk, just exposed to the elements for a day now. And I didn't want to eat it anymore. It's, you know, milk chocolate. I don't feel good about my food being exposed to stuff. So it was miscommunication. Perhaps on my part, perhaps on Froggy's, but I'll take the blame. I should have gone in the fridge or something. Let me see. Huru says, so you had a potato cheese corn dog. Yeah. Let me see if I can find a picture. Not of mine, but just one. Korean potato rice corn dog. How specific can I get here? Okay, this is pretty close. This helps out. This will illustrate my point anyway. Let me grab this. Okay, so look at this. All right. In 3 parts, this illustrates my point. This is what like the normal Korean rice corn dog kind of thing will look like. This, they got a couple kinds of sauces on there. Looks like ketchup and mustard, could be other things. This one in the center shows like the variant that has like cheese inside. So it's broken, you can see the cheese. It's like a fancy thick mozzarella stick with a little corn dog skewer in it. And then the one on the right is the variation that has the little potato pieces all over it. So if you combine these three things, you have what my experience was, and the one that was really interesting, and that I had been wanting to have for a long time. This like potato corn dog thing, and it's just as long as these others, it's just pushed back, okay? Don't think that it's shorter just because of the angle of the camera. Give it its credit, okay? It's just angle. It might have been cold in there that day. Regardless, big long girthy potato corn dog full of ooey gooey cheese and just like covered in sauce. And have any of you guys know boom boom sauce? I don't know the other names for it. I've had boom boom sauce a number of places, but I don't really know what else to call it. Anybody else have that? I think it's a regional term, so it might not be that helpful unless there's somebody else from East Coast. But I had boom boom sauce all over mine, and then like a little bit of ketchup, because the ketchup's good with the hot dogs. Boom boom sauce has like a little bit of a kick. It's like almost one of those zesty orange special sauces. And then there was the cheese inside. It was delicious. And so good I had it twice. So good I had it twice while I was there. Let's see. He says, I've seen those corn dogs online and they look amazing. I think that's the last message I read, which inspired me to go look for that. Elle says, yeah, by the time you got to my message, I already heard everything. I know, I'm behind. Perp says, gotta go cause school, see ya, E-boy. Eccentropy boy? Okay, I'll let it slide just because you had a good excuse, Perps, but how dare you? How dare you? Let's see. Almost caught up. There's my socials. I don't know why you put the socials there. Is that for Nightbot's? On Nightbot's behalf, Leo? So Nightbot doesn't feel... Oh yeah, there we go. Are you happy now, Nightbot? Yep. There's all my socials. At least Nightbot hasn't banned the word recipe yet. That's true. Not on this channel. Nightbot is trying to get his quota up since you weren't streaming for a week. Oh yeah, that's probably true. Yuki says, Helldivers 2 is really tough solo. It can be done, but it's very difficult starting out with no equipment. Yeah, and I'm not that good at a lot of games. I can get good, but I don't have a lot of time to put into getting good. Yuki says, you're stronger than me, Froggy. I don't think I would ever willingly share half a Kit Kat. It says your standards for the consumption of chocolate desserts are just low. Okay, well, I mean, you can eat something that's been out for a while. I'm just very picky about how I eat stuff. Yeah, P.O., I had my first Korean corn dog. So good. I've wanted to have those for so long. While I was actually in Korea, and let me see if I can find this picture too. Is this going to be on my computer or is this just on my phone? I'll see if I transferred it, because I think I probably have it on my computer and my old backup of Facebook pictures that I downloaded after I just before deleting my Facebook. There was tons of them in Korea while I was there. Oh yeah, here we go. I can share this. Let me make sure I'm not doxing anything else. No paths to my files or anything. Look at this. This is one of the many pictures that I took around the food areas, but the streets were just brimming with stands like this that had tons of variations, so many variations of things delicious things on skewers. The whole street smelled so good. And already, like, right here on the right, now this one has sausage in it, so I couldn't have had that, but you see they got like the potato corn dogs over there too. They got the sausage and cheese ones over here. I was seeing stuff like that around. It's just there was so much good food. And sometimes I was passing through an area after I had eaten or on the way to plans or something, so I didn't always get to grab something all the time. So sometimes I just ate with my phone instead, which is what this is. But yeah, there was just like, I saw these everywhere and I'm like, oh man, it looks so good. I want to try it someday. And I didn't have a chance to eat it while I was there amongst everything else that I was eating. So I'm glad I finally got one now. And it was very good. Like, I imagine probably the ones you get freshly made in Korea could be even better. But yeah. Froggy says it's probably sriracha mayo. Mustard isn't orthodox. I agree, but it didn't look like sriracha mayo. It looked too yellowy, too yellowy orange or something like that. I don't know. Mustard is orthodox for a corn dog, so depending on who got it, they might have covered it with something unorthodox. Yuki says those look so good, I want them. If you get a chance to have it, like, I think they're called rice corn dogs, Korean rice corn dogs, I believe. If you get a chance to look that up and have it available somewhere near you, I definitely recommend. Especially if you eat meat, because then you have more options. Nid, what are you laughing about? Froggy says my butt goes boom boom. I'm not gonna argue. Ketchup, yes, Kess. Kess, speaking up for the Kess-chup. It is very good on those. I would not actually cover a normal corn dog in ketchup myself, but a potato one with cheese inside, heck yeah. Bella says they have boom boom sauce at my school. Do you like it? It's good. Why are you guys judging about boom boom sauce, alright? It's what they call it. Reminds me of Danny's creamy, dewy center. We got Game Grumps mentioned, Nid. Game Grumps. Hot take, I prefer E-Boy over Eki. Really, Froggy? Really? I know you're not an Eki buyer. But like E-Boy though? E-Boy? You need my new model that I have to have like a lip bite toggle. Like a slow, sensual, like real fuckboy, like E-boy animation. Not just like I toggle it and it's in the middle of a lip bite, but like a full animated, like slow lip bite toggle. I need to practice my sheesh. I gotta practice varying like tones of sheesh, like the really high pitch one for like I'm not actually psyched, but I want to sound psyched. So I gotta go extra high pitch and then like have more of a flirty sheesh. You know, I gotta, maybe we're practicing for douchebag Ricky here. maybe douchebag Ricky is full on E-boy, huh? Let's see. Nid says, of course I do. I love Game Grumps. Nice. Yuki says, if you want to try Helldivers 2, I'd be happy to join you if you'd have me. I can share some high-level weaponry. True, I'm level 17 already. Well, definitely if I get it, which is something I'm considering, I will be looking for a crew, Yuki. I will indeed, so that has been noted. Nid says, Ricky, I was talking to Froggy when I said that, the thing about low dessert standards. Oh, I see. Froggy says, I could destroy that whole pyramid of corn dogs on a good day. Yeah, I would love to walk you down that street with me, Froggy. Just like someday where we went a little too long without eating and knew that we were gonna go down one of the main, like, street food streets in Korea and just, like, demolish the place. Like, become friends with everybody that has all of the food stands there because we just eat everything. They're also, like, they were very, what's the word I'm looking for? Generous with me. Even in ways that I couldn't quite participate in, right? Like, I absolutely loved the street food style kimbap that they made. It was tighter and smaller rolled. and they'd dip it in like an oil, a light oil for a second, or they'd like brush oil on the top and then throw a bunch of sesame seeds over it too, so that they'd stick. And then they'd give you a little skewer, and you could skewer them individually. I think I have a picture of those too. Should we just look at pictures of food all day? I'd be down. Let me try and look at this while I'm talking. But anyway, I got that a couple of times from different stands. And both of these stands, without advertising it, gave me extra food just for having bought this. And they were cheap, because a lot of the food in Korea was cheap. But I would just like buy a little thing of like the street kimbap to carry with me and eat while I walked. And they'd be like, oh, here, take this cup full of fish broth, hot fish broth, that you can just like drink while you walk. And it'll be good for your, you know, your windpipes, your throat, and the steam will help your nose and stuff. And like another place gave me another fish related thing. I was thinking it was fish balls or something like that. I'm a vegetarian. I don't do fish. I couldn't eat those things, but I happily accepted them, and I did not discard them when I was in sight of of anybody who offered them to me, because it was very nice. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about, like the street ones. You can see they got a little bit of that, the light oil on them, so the sesame stuff stuck, and the little skewers that they put in them. And the container had like a little plastic thing around it, so that like, first off, it made it so the oil didn't get everywhere a little bit more, and secondly, you could kind of turn this into a bag afterward, so you could carry your trash with you a little bit more, because people didn't like littering the streets there. They tended to just bag their trash up and carry it until they got to one of the public trash bins. So that's my hand right there. And actually, I think this over here, I think this on the upper left, that is only just slightly in frame, was a little thing of fish broth that they had handed me. I think that's the one I was just talking about with the fish broth over there. These were so good. The oh, what are they called? Danmuji inside. I almost called it oshinko, or oishinko. Oshinko is like the Japanese term for it, but like the pickled daikon kind of thing. It's prepared a little bit different in Korea. Very good. I love that stuff. And the fact that they were serving it vegetarian as well is nice. It was surprisingly easy to eat vegetarian in Seoul. Yuki says, there's nothing where I live. I desperately need to move. It is really nice to be in an area that offers you freedom in terms of food. That's part of the reason I'm really excited to move out of my little suburbs into a city later this year, into Boston, because I'm suddenly going to be exposed to proper food. Yes. I need to have my diversity. Bella says, I've never had it. I only eat snacks at lunch. Oh, gotcha. Froggy says, I stand by what I said. All right, that's fair. I'll allow it. It says, God, no, never do that, please. You know, if I had my camera on right now, I'd give you a lip bite just to trigger you. So I'm glad I don't have it on right now. Tells it with the well-timed demote me, daddy. L desperately hoping that I don't ever do like a lip bite or a sheesh, I guess. Froggy says, I never said you need a toggle. You don't have a toggle for Eki. Well, that's true. But I haven't accepted Eki. If you're preferencing things, Froggy, I gotta accept things that you preference. You're the girlfriend. You got power. It says, Froggy, do everything in your power to prevent this. You're the only one who can. Froggy says, it's out of my hands if he secretly wants to be an e-boy. It says, it's not. You could prevent this. I can't reset another timeline. You're fighting somebody else who resets timelines then, Nid. Do you realize how many times I've reset something to do something a little better for you guys? Stephen Strange. I'm honored you think I'm attractive as Benedict Cumberbatch. Benedict Cumberbatch is a weird thing, right? Just in general. No, I mean, when Benedict Cumberbatch first started showing up on things, a lot of people were like, oh, that guy's weird looking. Or they'd be more rude and they'd be like, he's unattractive. He looks like a messed up horse person. Why is his face so long? I didn't feel this way, okay? But these are real things I heard people say. And then like a year passed. 1 year of him being in like the spotlight for some things, like a little bit of Sherlock, a little bit of Sherlock, some Doctor Strange cast, and then suddenly they were like, this guy is like one of the most attractive men ever. I think they heard him talk, they saw him act, they saw his charm, they got used to the fact that he had kind of like a unique looking face, and they were like, actually, you know what, he's sexy AF. It was just an interesting thing to see happen, like during the brief moment where he started to come into the public eye more, and then like 1 year later when he was really in it. Also, Boomer Russ, thank you so much for subscribing tier 1 for 32 months. That is a long time. You've almost caught up to my age, Boomer. Soon. How you doing today? How were you this last week? I missed you. I was away. Let me see. I've almost caught up with chat. Froggy says, I don't think he's hot at all. Yeah, well, I mean, nobody's gonna be for everybody. Nid says, I do. He's a decently attractive man. I'm man enough to admit that. I think he's attractive. Froggy says, whenever I look at him, his eyes seem to point slightly different directions. All right, well, Froggy, I guess, is still on the side that I was first mentioning. Hand reveal, that's actually his foot. Yeah, I got really long toes, Yuki. And I've practiced using them like a chimp. Like a proper monkey. All right. I had my hands too full of stuff, so I was just carrying the kimbap around in my feet. I hope that's okay. Pal says big pieces. Those were actually pretty small for kimbap. I mean, maybe longer than a traditional one, but definitely less girthy. I had some kimbap during my trip to see Froggy, and they were a lot bigger, the pieces. Ricky looking forward to being exposed. The heck? Exposed as what? An e-boy? Is that the subject that you're commenting on, Palrum? By the way, not hand reveal. I used to be a cam streamer. My hands were on here all the time. The clips are still there. You can even find a clip of me cosplayed as Lady D from Resident Evil Village. It's there. If you look enough, you can probably find one of 2B cosplay. And me saying Ara Ara while cosplaying Noelle from Genshin Impact, but with cat ears. These all happened back when I was a cam streamer. This is what you're missing out on. Now that I'm a VTuber. I don't know, a lot of people, I go to their channels with a raid and they shout me out, and it's a clip shout out, and they get like they get like cam streamer Ricky clips, and they seem to feel awkward because they're like, oh no, I'm like showing his real face and he's a VTuber and this feels weird. I'm like, you know what, I could go through and I could delete all of my cam streamer ones, but I actually have more cam streamer clips. I think it's getting close. I think it's catching up, but I have more cam streamer clips than I have VTuber clips, because I'm actually pretty expressive and I did some strange stuff when I was a cam streamer. So there was a lot of clippable moments. I'm more expressive on my face than I think I am like verbally, compared to some other like gremlin or very hype VTubers out there. I'm gonna try and catch some of that expressiveness on my 3.0 model. That's one of my main focuses for that one. But Yeah, I don't think I'd want to delete all that stuff. So it is there, but I do feel a little bit bad for people who are like, oh, like, my immersion is broken. I didn't want to know what he looked like. I'm sorry. It's out there. It says, the fact that someone's mental image of me is Doctor Strange is compliment enough. You would unfollow? Actually, you follow worse. Are you talking about E-Boy there again too, Nid? Bell redeemed hydrate? That's a good idea. I'm doing a lot of talking. Let me have some water. Exposed to stuff in Boston. Oh. Boston is awesome. Boston, I already know Boston. I know Boston like crazy. I've been in the Boston area for a long time. I love to show people different stuff around Boston. So when Froggy came here, I was happy to to go around and be like, ooh, check out the bread. Ooh, check out the aquarium. Ooh, check out the parks. Ooh, check out the Prudential Center. Oh, check out the museums. Oh, check out the zoo. Even the public transportation's pretty good. I mean, not something you'd really want to check out if you didn't have to, but it's fun. Let's see. Froggy says, I mean, I don't think he's ugly. He just looks different. If I wanted to be mean, I would be. Oh boy. Wiki feet. Really, Harubru? I mean, I can't say much because I was just joking about. I was just in on the joke about that being my feet, but also still, really, Haruru, you had to go there, huh? Wiki feet. Yuki says, I didn't know those clips existed. I might have to investigate. Oh boy. Well, good luck. There's Rachel clips in there and stuff too. Joker says, K, 10:30 p.m. Time for this cat to get some sleep. Good night, Ricky. Have a good cat nap, Joker. I hope you sleep well, yeah. Rest up. Thank you for coming in here. It's nice to see you on this side. Bella says, man, I finally got something to do. Oh, yeah. Wait, what? Not related to the clips, right? Nothing like that. It says, God, it's like 83 Fahrenheit. I hate that. It cannot be 83 Fahrenheit. Turn on an AC. Shove ice cubes in every crack, including on yourself. Cool it down. It can't be that temperature. I hate the heat. If possible, I keep my room between 60 and 70 degrees. Yuki says, oh, I found the cat ear Noel cosplay. Oh, you found it already, huh? Oh, boy. Amarum says, never been, except the airport. Got a lot of relatives there. Oh, you've been to Logan? Logan Airport? I mean, it's nothing too special about that, but I guess it's a well-known airport. Frequent stopping point. It's okay. It says I've only been on Google Maps. Any of you guys have like have anybody here a VR user? Particularly the HTC Vive, or like one of the Vive's various things at this point, or been able to play Google Earth on VR so that you can like put on the VR headset and then like go anywhere on Earth and look around. It doesn't sound like it would be that cool until you actually have the VR on, because it's basically just like going on Google Maps on the browser and going to Street View, except you suddenly have perspective. You can go to the Burj Khalifa and look up and see it towering above you. Why did our music just suddenly end? Hold on. There we go. It's a really cool experience. VR in general is really cool. I want to set it up to play it for you guys at some point, but since I'm like I'm gonna be moving in a couple months probably. I don't want to go drilling holes in the wall in my room to set up base stations for the old version of the Vive that I have when I'm, you know, probably about to move. So I might put in the money to get myself like the Oculus Quest or something. That might not that I'm recommending anybody put money into it, but that might actually be on my throne. I gotta update that if there's like a newer version or something, but regardless, I want one of those ones that's essentially like bundled all up so that you can practically just take it out of the box. Like once you've got it set up on your computer anyway, you can just store it in its box and take it out of the box, put it on, and you can play. As opposed to the HTC Vive that I have right now, which has like a lot of setup time and a lot of cords and base stations that either need to be attached to walls or have some kind of other like you know, tripod kind of setup in order to have them placed around your room so they can scan you and track your body. It's a little bit rough. They've got some better VR designs now, and I would really love to get some of those, but we'll see. The AC's broken? Well, fix it, Nid. It's perfectly safe for you to open up your own AC and tinker with the extremely high voltage stuff inside it in an attempt to mindlessly fix it. And by the way, this is a joke. Do not do that. ACs are very volatile and produce a lot of electricity, and that's a good way to get yourself very hurt. Bella says, don't worry about it. It's definitely not about the clips. Good, good. Good. Froggy says, plot twist. Ricky has feet clips? I don't think so. I don't think I ever showed my feet on stream. I'm pretty sure not. I've showed my thigh on stream before. By the way, I will do more cam content at some point, probably not directly on this channel. I don't know. I feel like I need to separate it. I'm like, maybe I ought to make a second YouTube channel that has cam content or something like that. But I'm also working on getting in shape. I want the next time I come onto camera for you guys to be like, oh wow, he's actually, he's had a little bit of a glow up. I mean, it's not gonna be that different from what I was before, but I wanted to, you know, if I come back on camera, I wanted to, you know, I want to look decent. Not that I think I don't look decent right now, but you guys know what I mean. I want to look extra decent. Super decent, even. It says, I'm tweaking from the heat. Just don't twerk, okay? It's against Twitch TOS. Palmerum says, VR doesn't like me for some reason. What happens? Every time you put on a VR headset, it blows up? That's not good, they're expensive. It says, it's goddamn winter, it shouldn't be this hot in here. How is it in the 80s in your room in the middle of winter, Nid? Do you have like your windows closed, your blankets up against every like section of the window that could potentially be cold, and like a million electronics blaring in your room? Or like you got the heat turned on, your heat's broken but it's like on the max setting? Bella says, Ricky, my immersion has been ruined. Hey, well, you did that to yourself, all right? If that's true. Okay. You were warned. Drills. It says, I was stopped by the warning sign that says, don't touch this if you aren't a trained electrician. But if I wear rubber gloves, surely I'll be safe. I don't know about that, Nid. A lot of animal heat. I don't know what's more concerning, the fact that that's your assumption, Palmerum, or the fact that you're answering for Nid by saying that. It says no windows in this room. I'm in the center of a duplex, but the rest of the house is also somehow hot. I don't know, Nid. I don't know what to say. Are you built on a hot spring? Is there an active volcano nearby? Yuki says, my PC pumps out some heat when I play games. Yeah, my room can get pretty warm when I'm streaming, because I'll have a million programs open. We're only on just chatting right now, and I have 2 Chrome tabs open, the Go XLR app, iFacial mocap, Discord, Game Maker, VTube Studio, VBridger, the Twitch integrated throwing system, Mix It Up, and OBS all open right now. And some of those are fairly intense programs like VTube Studio, VBridger, OBS itself. Game Maker's just an EXE going. The Chrome tabs are a little heavy on the CPU. So my computer can definitely start to pump out some heat if I've been streaming for a little while. Especially if on top of all that stuff I open a game. Then it just goes nuts. Getting unusually cold in here, Palmarum. I like the cold. I used to think that I didn't like winter. I was kind of gaslit, not intentionally, but I was kind of gaslit by my parents, right? Because they were both, hold on, I'm fixing my tracking. It feels like it's off a little. They were both spring and summer people. Wham, wham, wham. There we go. They're both spring and summer people. They didn't like the winter at all. Nini! Ninro, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. How you doing? What have you been up to this last week? I'm just coming back from my vacation. But yeah, my parents didn't like winter at all. They liked spring and summer. And you know, when you're a kid, a lot of times you just take what you hear as like the thing, right? The rule. So I kind of grew up thinking, oh yeah, winter is the bad season that nobody wants around. And then spring and summer are the seasons that people really want around. But like, fall quickly, you know, as I learned to form my own opinion, fall quickly became my absolute favorite. Both because I live in an area that has the beautiful fall leaves, so much so that people travel here from around the world to look at it sometimes. And because the temperatures were just like perfect for me, and also Halloween was in there, and I loved Halloween. So I was like, ooh, this fall thing like actually might be my favorite. But as I've gotten older, like fall is still my favorite, but I'm definitely like, no, winter is way better than summer for me. I don't care for the snow and the ice too much, like shoveling sucks, but I would take shoveling over raking. I would take shoveling over having to like mow my lawn regularly. I like the fact that the bugs are considerably down during winter time. I don't have like spiders and beetles and mosquitoes and centipedes and stuff trying to be a thing all during the winter. I like the fact that I can just put on more clothes if I'm hot, because I can only take if I'm cold rather, because I can only take so much off during the summer, especially if I'm in public. Nini says, you know, some nonsense here and there, the usual. Yeah, you play innocent right now, Nini, because the next VOD that I'm supposed to watch as I catch up with Pio's stream is a certain collaboration that occurred between you and the alien. And, you might as well try and leave an impression right now before the VOD does. Yeah, I like the winter now. I prefer the cooler weather. You should add yapping to your 7TV. Let me look at it. 7TV. I also want to add bugging. I don't think I've done that yet. Do I have a bugging? I don't think so. Let me see. Yeah. Is it yapping or yapping? Yapping. Okay, let's see. Yapping, let's see. Now, 7TV isn't instant usually. Describe it, Froggy. Is it a little gray kitten? A little gray kitten with like a little bit of lag to it? Bella says, I hate winter, it's too cold for me. I'm a very warm person. I release... It's a kitten? Okay. I'll add what I think it is. I release probably too much heat? I don't know, maybe there's something wrong with me. But like, during cold times, you can like hover your hand over me and like feel the warmth coming out, like without touching me. And I'm a huge space heater. You put me in a room, I warm up the room. You cuddle under a blanket with me, whether we're like on a, you know, bed cuddles or it's just like bro cuddles on a couch with a blanket on, I will heat up the entire space under that blanket. I release a lot of heat, and so I gotta drink like a lot of water to stay cooled down, and I can't be in a hut area. I just can't. I need it to be a cool area so that, you know, there's a proper shifting of energy, right? The cool can enter me, the hut can leave me into the cool, and we come to a little bit of an equilibrium. If the room is hot and I'm hot, if I'm in there for too long, everything's just gonna explode, okay? It's not good. And like, you'd say, oh no, it's just all gonna even out at some point, right? It's gonna be like the heat death of the universe. Everything's gonna become one consistent temperature. That's wrong. I don't operate that way, okay? I'm eldritch. You know, Eccentropy isn't entropy. Entropy is the notion that everything will come to some form of order in the end. Like that everything is breaking down into order. That the universe will eventually become a single temperature. Everything will eventually slow to a stop. You know, Eccentropy is the opposite. It's like the theory that everything is going to devolve into chaos. Everything will get more chaotic over time. The energy that I give out messes with my area, all right? You're near me, you're gonna go a little bit insane. But you'll be warm while you're doing it. That's all I got to say. By the way, yapping has been added. I don't know how quickly it will happen here. I don't know how quickly it'll be properly added. If somebody uses yapping and it works for you, let me know. I might be able to refresh something and see it myself. I also want to add buggin'. Let me look for buggin' here. Buggin' is pretty good. Buggin' is what I found and recommended to Froggy for her streams recently. But I don't think I added it to mine. Unless I did. Yeah, I did not. Okay. I have now added buggin' also. Did yapping work for you, Haruru? It might not show up on screen until I like refresh the overlay. Or was it just text? It's working for you, Leo. Okay. Let me see if I can refresh the overlay here then. What am I working with? Not that one. Not this one. I got so many sources. I think it's this one, right? Yeah, it's that one. Okay. Okay, been refreshed. Let's try it out. Yapping. Aw. Aw. It doesn't show up. Well, as long as you guys can see some of it. I don't even know what we're talking about. We're talking about 7TV. It's an extension that allows you to use a lot more emotes added through 7TV. So a lot of Twitch uses 7TV. Froggy, you might have to do a refresh of your own page. Sometimes different people get to see it sooner. Sometimes you gotta like clear cache or wait for cache to clear itself. It won't show up evenly for everybody. But Leo sees it, so at least it should be on its way. I think it's got something to do with when your extension decides to like pull it as well. Probably the case on my side too. Leo says, if there's something wrong with you, it's wrong with me as well. I think it's just a size category thing. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. It says he completely missed me saying Arkansas is a portal to hell. I feel like a lot of people would have agreed with that. When did you say? Let's see. People go missing in the mountain. Oh wait, hold on. Arkansas is just a portal to hell. People go missing in the mountains and shit in broad daylight because demons drag them into the abyss. I don't know. I'm sorry, Arkansas. I can't believe I said it wrong. My bad. I don't know, there's a lot more portal to helly places than Arkansas. Bella says, well, all I have to say is you're quite good looking, Ricky. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And now I'm going back to lurking. You have a good lurk. I guess I missed like this whole chunk of messages up here, huh? I don't know how. Let's see. Nid says, look at that dumb little cat. Has no idea what it's doing there. Excuse me, I'm a person. All right, look, human ears. Oh wait, you're talking about yapping, right? Okay. Yeah, Leo, you've said before you release a lot of heat too. I don't remember who it was, and I'm not about to insinuate that it was you, Leo, but I remember like one time I was on either Pio's stream or Hanyo's stream. It might have been a time where they were collaborating together, but anyway, Hanyo was there, and I was talking about the fact that I just like generate so much heat, that I was a space heater. And I think he was talking about the fact, he was like, ooh, I'm like, normally I run cold. He was like, we gotta cuddle. But at the same time as he said that, somebody else in the chat had responded to me being like, oh yeah, I got the same thing. I generate so much heat. And I had joked with that person saying, oh, we can't ever be in the same space together. We'll just like burn down the place. But then when Hanyo came in being like, we gotta cuddle, me and the other person started joking that we needed to make a Hanyo sandwich and have one of us on either side of Hanyo because he runs cold, and just like cook him so that he's just like nicely seared on both sides, you know? So he's not cold anymore. You want to be panini pressed, Froggy? You know that can be arranged. Void says, I'm a mess of temperatures. My limbs are always cold, torso's kind of warm unless I'm absolutely freezing. I do get a little cold in the feet region sometimes. That's common for a tall person as well, because that is a long distance for the heart to pump blood. Your heart doesn't necessarily get better at pumping your blood further just because you're taller. So when you have really long extremities, and I actually have quite long legs. Froggy's commented on this before. If you see me just standing in front of you, I tend to look a little stretched out because I got a lot of leg. A lot of leg runs in my family. It works for the gals. I don't know if it works for the guys. Maybe I get anime proportions or something. At least in terms of height. But yeah, I got long legs. So yeah, the feet regions can get kind of cold sometimes. I gotta make sure I keep the blood flow in there, or keep it more warmed up. Leo says it's working for me. Oh, that's the yapping thing. Okay. Let's see. Is buggin' working yet? Buggin'. Man, I'm not gonna get to see any of them on screen, am I? Let me see. Refresh. Buggin'. Yapping. God dang it. I'm so sad. That's why there's so many churches there, Nid. Alright, fair enough. Sponsor a release of heat. Use him as a heat sink. We can pour all of our heat into Hanyo. Kinda wish he was here just lurking, listening to this. Leo says, I don't remember this conversation, but I could see us saying that. It could be you. It could. I feel like it was somebody else, though, at that particular time. But if you're volunteering, Leo. Froggy says, taller people have higher blood pressure. That makes sense. Nini, what? Are we PO nosing now? Okay, every PO sub. This is an imperative. I'm calling on all PO subs right now to do PO nose in chat. Let's have a PO nose moment. You can see that they will show up there on the side. Like you can see them way up close there. So let's get some PO noses in the chat, please. Once again, this is a test of the emergency broadcast system. We need to see some PO noses. It's important. I can't stress it enough. This is how we test to make sure that everything is running properly on the stream. There we go. No more PO subs here in chat. Come on, get it going. Buggin' works for you too, Leo? Well, congratulations, Leo, for being so special to see all the cool emotes that I wish I could see. Congratulations, Leo. That's awesome. That's awesome that they're working for you and I can't see them. Thank you for telling me, though, that confirming that they're actually being added properly. You're not doing that, Froggy? Come on. You don't want to share that monstrosity? Void says, one time grabbed one of my friend's hands and they thought I touched them with something metal because of how cold my hand was. Oh boy. Yeah, my hands are usually okay. I mean, they can get cold. Sometimes. That's usually a sign that I'm like unwell in some way. If I'm suffering from something, my hands have become cold. Leo says, I have free time on the weekend. Alright, alright. I'll DM you. Then it says boil Hanyo's insides. I don't think we'd have to ask him twice. Boy, it says I'm only subbed to 2 people. I mean, that's already $10. Like, people don't think about it. That's at least $10. It depends on where you're at. Like, subbing people on Twitch is expensive. I always gotta make sure I click back in once in a while and check my subscriptions tab to make sure I'm not accidentally, like, actively subbed to too many people at once. Because that's, like, if you don't cancel them, that's a monthly thing. Like, I kinda am actively subbed to too many people right now. I've got 5 subs right now that are charging me monthly. And then I've got a sub to Felicia Day that's like a permanent sub. It's my longest lasting one, and it always will be because it's never gonna go away. I don't pay for it anymore. It's currently at 65 months. It's a lifetime subscription, so That will always be my longest, unless I specifically unsubscribe, I guess. But that would be kind of weird. But yeah, so like for me, that's $25 a month, like auto draining. I guess one of them is a Prime sub, so it's more like $20 a month, and then I'm paying for Prime because of other things. But yeah, you definitely gotta watch it. It can creep up on you. That's why I like, even though it's better to sub to a streamer to support them, I can't hold it against anybody who goes for like Twitch Prime, right? Because you sub to Twitch Prime, it's a little bit more expensive than a normal sub, but less expensive than 2. I think it's like $8 or something like that. And you just get no ads across all of Twitch. So for somebody who doesn't have that much money, like Twitch Prime or whatever, it's not Twitch Prime. Is it Twitch Prime? It's got some name like that. Is the experience to go for, probably. I've never gotten it because I prefer to just get individual subs for people because I can afford it, but it's not always the case. Leo says, thank you for the congratulations, Ricky. I really am enjoying all these cute kitty cat emotes. It's a real shame you can't see them yet, though. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Buggin'. Yapping. Refresh cache. Buggin'. Yapping. Thank you, Talcent. I appreciate that. Takes the edge off. Bella says, oh my god, my hands are like ice packs, always freezing cold, like death cold. Probably you or Nid. If I were to touch your hand with my hand, it would probably shatter. I think the temperature difference is too much. Froggy says, have you heard they're increasing sub prices in Turkey, UK, Canada, and Australia? So yeah, Twitch is changing up subs. So sub prices are changing around the world. It's actually going down for a couple places, I heard. They're changing around the world. Most places are getting more expensive. And Twitch Prime subs are also going to be adjusted to match the regional costs. So the areas that are going up in expense, the Twitch Prime subs are going to be worth a little bit more. But for the majority of the world, the Twitch Prime subs are going down, which means that the sub price itself is going down as well. Some places have it rough, like Australia. Any Australians, any Aussies in here? We got nerves still. Can confirm that it's like $7 right now, or $8 to sub, and they're increasing it another $1. That's pretty, like, it's up there. It's expensive. Compared to the $5 here. Some places got it even worse, but they are adjusting it around the world to be a little bit more fair to whatever the value of the local money is. I guess that's the logic behind it. I don't know how that works out in practice. For a lot of the partners, it's hard to say what that's gonna mean. Like, theoretically, it should mean partners are making more money. They'll make less off of Prime subs directly, but more off of most subs because it generally evens out to being more money toward Twitch, right? Twitch is obviously making the change because they did their calculations and they're like, oh, this is gonna rake us in more cash. That's why most companies do their change. But partners still, they have percentage-based splits, and I guess this is true for affiliates as well. They've got percentage-based splits with Twitch, so if it's making Twitch more money, it's gonna make the streamer more money too. But streamers who have a lot of, like, who have asked really heavily for Prime subs over anything else, and I know there's a few out there who do that, who kind of like prioritize saying, hey, use your Prime sub on me, because you kind of get that one for free if you've already got Amazon Prime, and I don't need your other money. And then they also like the split on it, or they get some partner stuff with Prime, whatever it is. They might be taking a hit. The other thing to consider is, not everybody is going to continue to sub if you increase the price. I think the logic is, oh, we're all gonna make more money by like changing these things around, but like if suddenly you have crossed a boundary and all the Australians decide, I can't pay for all these subs anymore, a lot of streamers are probably gonna lose money. And you also consider the fact that gift subbing is a thing. It might make not that much difference if it goes up $2 for an individual. Like, it's still not going to be nice if they go from having to pay 6 to 8 or something like that. But then if you consider, like, if they were a person who gifted 10 subs sometimes, something that would normally be $60 would have now become $80 for a gift sub of 10. That's going to impact the large gifters for sure, because you know, you got to consider that price change. It adds up quite a bit once you put the multiplier on there, and gifting subs is a big thing on Twitch, especially for large streamers. So I'll be interested to see how it actually affects the revenue. I mean, I assume they crunch their numbers pretty heavily over on Twitch, because they only make these choices if they feel it's going to bring more money to them. And because it is a percentage split, then that would just mean more money to the streamers. But hopefully somebody didn't get it wrong, or they haven't overestimated how many people are going to be willing to keep their sub if it's all much more expensive. We shall see. Void says to Bella, if our hands ever touched, we would somehow cause the space between our hands to reach absolute zero. Oh no. You guys better not touch either. If you almost touch, I'm gonna have to throw my hand in there and shatter both of you, just to save the world. Alright. Bug and test. Man. Guru says, it would be funny if the source of Twitch losing money is because they're paying your lifetime sub to Felicia Day. I'm sure I'm the one responsible for Twitch losing money. You know, the subscription model has almost never worked out. You guys know that? There are so many subscription models out there, and almost everything that has tried to sustain a subscription model is just slowly losing money over time. Nobody likes the model, and they also really don't tend to work. Like, in theory, they're money makers, but it's like, usually the amount of stuff that you need to produce, like every time you have somebody else subscribe, the amount of stuff that you have to produce in order to meet the demands of that subscription tend to significantly reduce the amount of income that you get from that subscription, and then people start to drop out of it because people can only maintain so many subscription costs per month, and you were like building the amount of product that you needed assuming that the people might not have dropped out, so then you start losing money. It's a weird model. I don't know who's going to figure out how to make it work right, but if we're to believe what Twitch says and what YouTube says and stuff, even like some of the largest ones out there that seem to be the most successful or seem like they have dominant market spaces, are not very profitable. Like, they've been in the red a lot of times while keeping themselves active. And like, they're serving other valuable means. So the companies don't drop them, and they're owned by things like Amazon and Google and stuff, which can take some non-profitability. But it's just like weird that nobody can really get it to work out. The only time it really works for people is if it's like some app, you know, that people are just writing code and the code doesn't require you to produce like more resources in a factory or anything like that. It's just having enough server space to handle users, and the users pay for subscriptions. Then you can usually make a decent amount of money off that, but it's still wishy-washy. It says there's no way your hand is hotter than 83 Fahrenheit right now. What are you talking about, Nid? You know that when people take their temperatures, they're like 98 degrees, right? A normal person. I mean, I know that's an internal temperature, but still. It says, you mean you have a tag team attack that involves freezing whoever you touch? That would be an absolute zero. Yeah, that's quite a freeze. That would be an interesting Mortal Kombat move, I suppose. Wasn't one of the recent Mortal Kombat's tag team? Has that been multiple Mortal Kombats now, or was it just like the most recent one? I remember seeing some tag team finishers in Mortal Kombat. That's what I picture then. Them just jumping in and both people touch somebody on the sides of their face or something. Their head turns to ice and shatters. Floyd says, Eck, clearly my hand would just cool down yours and we would be normal for a minute. Are you sure about that? That sounds generous to assume that peace would happen instead of destruction. Do you remember what I was saying about Eccentropy? Nid says that's internal. Maybe for you. Maybe my internal is like 300 Fahrenheit. Did you ever think about that? Or maybe I'm like Mag Cargo or something. What was Mag Cargo's temperature? The Pokemon Mag Cargo temperature 18,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Mag Cargo's body temperature is approximately 18,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Let me see. Sun temperature. And the sun is about 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, a Mag Cargo is almost to double the temperature of the sun, according to Pokemon. So yeah. I don't... Did they know what they were doing? Is Pokemon okay? The entry here is like, Mag Cargo's body temperature is approximately 18,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Water is vaporized on contact. If this Pokemon is caught in the raindrops instantly turn into steam, cloaking the area in a thick fog. You said 1800? Oh, I meant 18,000. Yeah, it says 18,000. 18,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Almost double that of the sun is what a Mag Cargo is. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't even be able to rain in proximity of Mag Cargo. I think the planet would be vaporized, but even if the planet wasn't, I don't think water would be allowed to exist anymore in a liquid form. I think it would just instantly burn up. Like, it's hotter than the sun. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure the Pokemon people were okay when they were making the entries. There's some pretty crazy ones. Let's see. Mela says, my hand is quite warm right now because I'm buried in warm blankets, but my feet are freezing. I like me some... you know, one of my favorite feelings is a cool room and then like warm, cozy blankets. It's nice. It's like the same sort of thing as like looking out your window at the cold winter wonderland while you like are standing in the with the heat turned on and maybe like a hot chocolate in your hands, just sipping away. I don't know, it's probably something biological of like, look, I'm successfully surviving the elements that would be quite unpleasant, but I'm doing survival right. It's easy these days, but our body still likes to give us credit for it. It's like, look at the cold winter that would kill me, but I'm a survival animal. And I'm good in my really fancy advanced cave. With food in my stomach. So it's a cozy internal feeling. Void says, I'm also buried in blankets and my feet are still ice cold. My hands are normal right now, though. Okay, so what you guys are saying is that you want me to touch your feet? Just come out and say it, all right? You both want to talk about how your feet are cold? And I got warm hands? Weirdos. It says you need a hospital. Hold on. You say, oh yeah, I read that. Use their thermal energy to power stuff. Yeah, how are you gonna use anything? Like, how are you gonna use anything to power, to like gather energies from something that is 18,000 degrees Fahrenheit? I gotta like watch, one of these days we gotta have another episode where we just watch Kurzgesagt like we've done before. Because they have something in there, right? That is, I forget the name of it, but it's like this theoretical power source. It's got a fancy name to it. It's already been written out all in theory, but we just don't have something that we could put together that basically is powered by the sun. Like it actually uses the Dyson sphere. That's it. Yeah. I need to watch their video on a Dyson sphere because I've never seen that one. And I'm curious to learn some of the internals of a Dyson sphere from something that is a little bit more interesting to listen to than a Wikipedia article or something that I've searched up on Google. So we need to have that one of these days. Certified cool guy? What, cause you know about it? I mean, it's better than your last answer of aluminum foil, so I appreciate you getting it. Void says, no, my feet would shatter because they can't be warmed up. Oh, I see. Bella agrees. Okay, fair enough. I think I prefer that. Leo says, no, thank you, Riggy. My entire body is warm enough. I appreciate the offer. Well, I wasn't talking. Okay. That's fine, Leo. I appreciate it. Our music went away. Hold on. We can't talk about feet with no music. That's just awkward. Here, let's try this lo-fi. I've never listened to this one before. What are you gonna sound like, lo-fi? I'm not hearing you. Oh. That's a good start. Some little strummy strums. Sounds like an old RPG town. Froggy says, Ricky, my feet have been cold for the past couple hours. So you want me to touch your feet, Froggy? You want a foot massage? I mean, I know the answer to that already. It's yes. Alright, let me close a couple of my Chrome tabs. I keep opening them to look things up. By the way, I mentioned Little Aggie earlier. I've been casually collecting channel points on the side while I stream. Aggie is currently playing a game called I Want to Be the Guy. Anybody familiar with that in here? It's one of those rage games. It was made quite a long time ago. Never expected to take off, so they stole a bunch of assets from like Mario and Mega Man and various other things. But it was a very early, ridiculously unfair rage game. Like very unfair. It rapidly kills you and sends you back far over and over in awful ways. Does that sound like something you guys would want to see me play at some point? If the answer is yes, then I will most likely add that to a punishment wheel or something like that, because I don't know if I'd subject myself to that entirely by my own choice. But I could certainly put on a punishment wheel, like maybe like a certain amount of time that I need to play it for or something like that. I do have some, I've got an interesting punishment wheel going, guys. Next time the punishment wheel actually makes it to stream, which could be within the next month or two, it's gonna have some interesting things on there. It's been a little while since we pulled the last punishment wheel out, but I've never had one that had such high stakes as the one that I'm building right now. I'm just thinking about the perfect time to bring it out. And that perfect time might end up being the 1,000 followers celebration. We have to do a celebration on that. As previously mentioned, some of the things that I'm like waiting on for the 1,000 follower celebration are not in my hands, really, because they involve commissions and things like that. Some of them are. So the idea is that we'll be coming out with some like commission-based stuff as part of that celebration. But if something like takes too long, or it doesn't look like it's coming through, or it's not working out how I wanted it to work out, I've got a lot of backups. And one of those backups is to bring out the really intense punishment wheel, and then have a variety of activities that I'm doing during stream that failure would cause me to need to spin the wheel and see what punishment I get. Now, I don't know if torturing myself is the most ideal celebration for 1,000 followers, but hey, it's a backup and it would be fun. So we shall see. Game Grumps has played it, says Froggy. Nid says, autistically watches science, history, occult, and video game lore videos while cleaning. Hey, I've been there. Void says, I gotta correct something I said earlier. My entire torso is always warm, other than specifically my chest, which is also always cold. Interesting. Nid says, I haven't watched Game Grumps play that yet. I definitely should. I've been behind on their videos since Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, really? I think yeah, it was one they must have played a while ago, because the game itself is very old. It's symbolic of all the effort you put in for your viewers. That's true. That's true. I mean, you know what, guys? Like, there's a streamer out there. A lot of you might know her. I don't mention her that often, but I've looked up to a lot of things she does. As many differences as you might see, and as strange as this comparison might feel, in my mind, I strive to be similar in a lot of ways to Fillion. You guys know Fillion? And it wasn't something that I strived to be before I started VTubing, because I didn't know Fillion for a little while. But Fillion's got a lot of similarities to me. Fillion brings a chaotic but sometimes calm energy. Most of the stuff you see highlighted is the chaotic, but it can be calm. Brings a chaotic experimental energy. Does variety streaming, but still does a lot of gaming. Does a variety of different kinds of games. And despite being quite gremlin, Fillion really does not use a lot of curse words or offensive things. You see a lot of streamers, nothing wrong with curses, but a lot of streamers, if they want to be intense and chaotic and crazy and gremlin energy, as they say, one of the most low-hanging fruit that streamers go to is like cursing every other word. And then another one that, like, hopefully not too many streamers do, but I already know too many for it to be comfortable, go to being kind of like offensive and want their thing to be like, I'm cool because I'm edgy and I don't care what other people get upset by, so I'm just gonna say whatever, and people are like, based. But like, Fillion Fillion does all like the cool entertainment stuff and makes a big name and has some serious gremlin energy, and she kind of refuses to curse. Like, she lets other people curse, it's just not really in her vocab, and she's just pretty careful not to like offend anybody, and stuff like that. Froggy says, I don't think you do flips for content though. Well, I'm not trying to be exactly the same. You're right. I'm not going to be flashbanging everyone all the time either. Also, Bella says, yes, Ricky, we all love your determination to your streaming. Oh, you know her? You know Fillion? Yeah. It says, I've been trying to get better at it, not cursing, that is. There's nothing wrong with cursing, as long as you're not, like, you know, there's, like, words that are considered cursing that they're quite nasty to say, you know. But just, like, cursing in general, like, most of it doesn't hurt anybody. It's just for a different type of audience. It's not what I do. I don't have problems saying the words. Like, sometimes people in chat have gasped because I'll be playing Fallout or something like that, and there'll be one of those notes that somebody left behind. And it's just like, that fucking shithead Johnson, blah, blah, blah. And everybody's like, whoa! Whoa, Ricky said the F word. And... and shithead. And I'm like, I'm not afraid to say it. It's just, it's not in my normal vocabulary. Like, it just doesn't come out. I don't I don't tend to use that kind of speech, but I don't have a problem with it per se. Froggy says, oh, she talked about not using curse words yesterday in her Hot Ones with Doki. Oh, they did a Hot Ones stream? I didn't realize that was what their collab was. I'll have to see if there's like a VOD or highlights of that. That sounds fun. And it's funny that she just talked about that too. See, that's what I'm saying. We, like, I've got some kind of like little bit of wavelength with Fillion. And like, long before I discovered Fillion, some of the ideas of things I had to be experimental with that have gone on my really long to-do list have been things that she has come out and done. I don't know if that's lack of creativity on my part or just a similar creativity between us. I don't know. There's a lot of differences between Fillion and I, of course. But it's just probably the VTuber that I can point at most and be like, hey, this is like the kind of thing I'm sort of going for. Funny, variety content, experimental. Believe it or not, I do like some gremlin energy. I don't know if you guys ever see any of that in me. I'm certainly not a gremlin. I'm not what people would call gremlin most of the time. Most of the time, my kind of chaotic is either what happens through gameplays or what slips out of my mouth many times per stream that end up creating things like the Ricky Quotes channel and stuff like that. Or it's gotten a lot more chaotic when it's like multiplayer and stuff. It's like a lot of times it's a subtle or a dormant energy, and then it comes out at the right times, and that's sort of how I prefer it. There's definitely the ability to get chaotic here, but there's a reason why I put both chaotic and cozy into my tags. Because we very easily shift between those two, and that's how I like it. That's how I want to keep it. And I felt similar things from Fillion's channel as well, so that's why I brought up Fillion. I'll stop talking about Fillion now, but that's just sort of like a notion in my mind of where I want to go with things. Because I really like doing things like a just chatting stream like we had tonight, once in a while. Or having like a long period of talking and then being able to jump into a game. And I want to get a little bit more active in that, like, sometimes we'll be in the middle of talking and I'll just be like, all right, let's throw a Super Auto Pets game in here randomly while I talk, or hey, let's do marbles real quick. Or something like that in the middle of us talking, and then just kind of continue on that vibe. I'd like to get things a little bit more active. I just gotta like train myself a little bit more and do a few more of these experimental things. And I think that it will be helpful when I have my next model too, because I'm gonna have a lot of control over ways that I customize that. And I don't want to give any spoilers, but I got some fun ideas. And some fun collab ideas that I'd like to pull off in the future too with some people. So I talk about the future a lot, but I hope you guys can see, especially people who have been with me for a long time on this channel, that it comes to fruition. You know, some of my talks of the future feel like they're a long time off, but this VTuber that we've got right now, this was one of those talks. At the beginning of 2023, I was a flat, completely different styled VTuber that was the first one I had ever made myself. I didn't look like this. We had no kind of fancy overlay background. We did not have this kind of responsive chat box. Most of the emotes that I have did not exist. Any of the Ricky ones didn't exist. Our stream was 720p max. You can get 1080 here now. My audio was different. Even when I got this model, the tracking on it was far different. I'm like constantly updating things. It may feel like a slow drip, but if you go back, you know, a year, 2 years, 3 years, you see the progress of everything. I'm like, ooh, sometime in the future actually happening. All of the sometime in the future that I said during my year 1 or year 2, at least like most of it, I can't think of anything that hasn't been fulfilled. All of it's been fulfilled over time. It's just a slow drip, but I try to continue to have cool new things come in and to get to games I've promised and stuff like that. So I'm looking out for you guys. So every time you hear me say sometime in the future, I promise it's not a cop-out. These things go on to lists. Plans are in the making. I get people commissioned. Sometimes there's a big long wait list from people I commission and things. Sometimes I'm putting in the work to learn how to do something myself, but I do definitely 100% plan on following through. It's the same with like this 1,000 follower celebration, you know? It was only like a month and a half ago that we hit it. But still, that's enough time that people are like, oh, has he forgotten about the celebration? No, of course not. I'm just making sure that it's gonna be good for you guys rather than try and rush it out. So yeah, I'm really excited about some of the new stuff that 3.0 is gonna bring, and some of the ideas that I have on my to-do list for collaborations and special event celebrations and things like that. I think you guys are gonna have fun with it. I'll have a few moments where I decide to pat myself on the back for some content we bring out, as long as I get it to work, you know? That's the thing with experimenting, is it allows the opportunity for it to fail, right? If you're experimenting with something, it means you don't know whether it's gonna work or not. It's just something you're trying out. So there's definitely some of that. I'm sure there will be great successes and major flops. And I'm here for both of those. I think failure is just as good a learning experience, but of course on stream, let's hope we get some successes too. Let's see. I think I read that Void said I definitely see the gremlin energy. I read it in my head at least, but if I didn't read it out loud, there we go. I did kind of comment on that. Froggy says, very off topic, but I just spent like an hour refreshing villager trades to get Unbreaking 3. Did you get it? Did you succeed? Nid says, TLDR, Fillion is a cool gal. I think so. I haven't had like a lot of, despite everything I was just saying, I haven't had a lot of Fillion exposure because I have so many people that I support. And a view means a lot more to a smaller streamer than somebody at Fillion's size. So typically anytime Fillion is live, I'm somewhere else already. I'm usually multiple other places, like maxed out on my supporting tabs on other smaller streamers. So I don't tend to catch a lot of Fillion stuff live. Once in a while I do. And I catch a lot of like highlights or VODs or things on YouTube when I have time. but from what I have gotten to experience, I think Fillion's pretty cool. I think Fillion's one of the people who, like, you know, everybody works hard, but I think Fillion is one of the ones who always, like, really works to deserve the recognition that she's gotten, and tries to stay pretty modest about it, so I respect it. Talcet says, keep at it, and we will have to put you in the jar. Talcet, no. Maybe I don't want to go that gremlin, right? So gremlin that I shrink down into an odd form and you guys are like, alright, jar time. Let's please not invoke the jar. I'm glad you got it, Froggy. At least, like, if you were gonna spend all that time getting it, at least you got it. Bella says, another off-topic statement. I heard that if your hands and feet are constantly cold, your body's in survival mode due to stress, but there's no proof, it's just a rumor. I mean, I guess if they're constantly cold, I mean, your body is going to be trying to fix that. So I'm sure it does increase stress on the body and puts it into a state where it's like, all right, gotta pump harder, gotta warm those limbs. So in that way, that's probably true. Oh, you know what, guys? I've been enjoying this like crazy. But I told you this morning, my transportation got interrupted and stuff. I got back from being out of state, walked through the door to my house about 10 minutes before my morning meeting started at work. And then I worked a very long work day from 10 minutes after I got in my house. Didn't even get a chance to sit down and relax, just worked a very long work day. All the way until like 6 p.m. or so, or just after 6. And I started streaming at 8 p.m. Within the 2 hours between finishing working and streaming, I was setting up stuff for stream and eating. So, ever since my entire travel day yesterday and to this point now, I've been busy. So I have had a fantastic, long, exhaustive catch-up tonight, which I really enjoyed, but I think I might do myself a favor, save my voice a little, get myself ready for sleep, and call stream just a little early tonight. You guys okay with that? I think this has been a fantastic Just Chatting stream. We've been here for about 3.5 hours, but I think it's about time that I start to wrap this up. So that I can kind of rest and make sure I'm strong for the rest of the week. Clearly I missed you guys. Clearly I missed you because I've been talking for a solid 3.5 hours. And I could keep going. But I think I want to recognize that tonight is probably best for me to end just a little early and rest. Froggy says, poor Pookie, did you eat? I did, but it was a really disappointing veggie burger. Bella says, yes, you need some rest, you deserve it. Thank you. Yeah, I gotta let my throat settle down too, because I've been on the brink of losing my voice all day since I had a bunch of meetings today. I had some newcomers who I was kind of training today. They were like shadowing me, and I had to show them how to open branches on source control and fetch those branches and do debugging both on browser and Visual Studio, and how I go through my process of tracking down bugs and the code changes I need to make and the ins and outs of jQuery and how to put up a pull request and approve them to get it merged into Jenkins. You guys all know everything I'm talking about, right? I had a training day today. That itself was exhausting. Does it sound exhausting? It was. So, and I think I have to do a little bit more of that tomorrow. So I'm gonna go do a little bit of dusting around my room, and then change my entire bed set into my comfortable, like, brand new clean bed set with my brand new fluffy blanket. and then have a really good sleep tonight. I think that's what I'm gonna go for. Leo says, I think giving yourself some rest is a great idea. I think so. I think it's time. Void says, yeah, get some rest. Good rest. Thank you, Talsit. Better than a long mustard. Oh, long ketchup. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying, Froggy. I'll give you credit for that one. Bella says, make sure you stay hydrated. I will do. I've almost finished my second 40-ounce water thing today, which followed up like half a 16-ounce Poland Spring. So I'm pretty good, I guess. I'm gonna be approaching 100 ounces of water drank today. Maybe it's not enough for somebody my size, but it's pretty good. Leo says, I know a bit of it. That's awful, Ricky. It wasn't too bad. I'm not a big fan of people watching me code over my shoulder. It's a little bit of like drawing as well, except I've gotten used to that for stream. It's like, I don't want you to see the process of how I fuddle about trying to fix a bug. It's not always the most graceful looking thing, but I get it done in time. What matters is the outside perspective of, oh, I opened up this new bug and this developer, Ricky, got it fixed in just 2 hours. It doesn't matter like how I got from point A to point B, I got there. And the code looked good. Sometimes the inner machinations of my mind and my process seem like they're nuts, but then it turns out with a good result. So I don't really love having people watch me code fix, because I feel like I'm gonna be judged, or that they'll get weird practices because they'll like see some of the stuff I do and they're like, ooh, I should do it that way, but they don't have the same like thought process as I do, and so it takes them in weird directions. That's always how I feel. I'm glad you had fun, Bella. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap up, and I'm not sure that I want to raid tonight. I think we'll get back to raiding next time, but we just had a nice catch-up stream. I think we'll end here. You guys know people are live. There's all kinds of cool people live right now. Go check out your favorite streamers. Wish them a good night. It's only Tuesday. A lot of people are still making their way through a tough work week, myself included, or a school week. A lot of people to give love to, and hey, if it's late for you, make sure you take care of yourself. You get ready for bed soon. Get yourself some good sleep so you can go into Wednesday powered up. I'm gonna try to do the same thing, and I'm gonna see you guys Thursday. On Thursday, we're gonna get back to Lies of P. We were playing a decent amount of that before I left, but it still feels like it's been forever. I have a feeling that we're getting close to the end of Lies of P, but I have no way of really knowing. I think we still have a while, but not too much. Like, we're at least more than halfway through the game, so I want to keep the momentum going on that. I forget how many chapters there are to the Pinocchio story, the original one. Somebody told me before, but I forget. Then I imagine the number of chapters in the game corresponds to that, because they've done a lot of referential stuff. So that's a way to sort of see my progress. I'll check that out next time I start it, so that will be on Thursday. And then on Sunday, I guess, like, probably semi-final official notice of this. On Sunday, we're doing our monthly check-in, because I said on the last Sunday of every single month, we're gonna have a monthly check-in on our Minecraft server, the community server. Well, the 25th, even though it's a little early for being the end of the month, is the last Sunday of the month. So we're gonna be having our February Minecraft server check-in then. I'm gonna come in and see what people have been up to in terms of builds, and talk a little bit about what to expect. If it's not a very long check-in, we'll do some other games or some just chatting after it, and wrap up the weekend nicely there. So that's what to expect this week. I had so much fun talking to you guys tonight. I'm glad to hear you did as well. Hopefully it was cozy. You have a good Wednesday. I'm glad to be back. I missed y'all. And I will, I'll catch you next time. Froggy, raid me. Do you actually want me to raid you, Froggy? I was just gonna wrap up. Leo says, welcome back, Ricky. I hope you get some good rest. I will try. I want to just drop into my bed right away, but I think it's gonna feel much more fulfilling if I do my dusting, like a little bit of cleaning, and like set up my bed with all the fresh stuff. I think that'll feel nice after returning from a trip. So I got just a little bit more work to do, and then I'm gonna have a real nice, fulfilling rest. Yuki says Froggy isn't even streaming right now. Well, I have actually raided Froggy in the past while she was offline. I think I had Jose do the same thing. Or maybe Jose raided me when I was offline or something. It is possible. Some people don't know it. It is possible. But I think we're just gonna wrap up tonight. Thank you everybody for watching. I'm gonna finally say goodbye. You know, one positive thing about me raiding at the end of my streams typically is that the raid timer will kick me off and stop me from just perma-talking. If I'm not raiding anybody, I have to stop myself, alright? So I'm gonna do that. See ya, everybody. Have a good night. Thank you for being here. And we'll come back with some Liza P on Thursday. Take care. Glad to be back. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. No, Yuki. Bye-bye. Bye.